Okay.
Does jerking off on a deceased woman's mattress count as romance?
You know, I'm not.
I'm people with my peeps. I keep my peeps close.
So what would bother a ghost more, turds or masturbation?
Yeah.
You know, that is a good question.
Tell him, Steve Dave.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Tell 'em Steve Dave. Nice intimate gathering. Just me, Walt, and Q, and scary Halloween candelabra to go along with the bright lights of the stash because you guys are open until 7 today. I wasn't aware of that.
Can't you just make an executive decision and just close the store?
I am not. I don't have the power of executive decision.
I see.
You would.
Yeah,
that's odd.
You want him to lose that bathroom key?
Gotta be honest with you, that is odd.
What time is it right now?
6:31.
I can close it in 29 minutes.
Okay.
He's gone out on a limb. The president asked me to cut that out.
All right. Right back, New Jersey.
I can't.
Open whenever posted.
And that, and then that in itself is the scariest thing about this Halloween episode.
But the manager of the store is dry as a bone.
No, I mean, there's people in the store. I don't want to kick them out. I mean, some have come far away to come here. They said so. You know, it's going to get really spooky in 28 minutes. That's all I'm going to tell the listeners. I mean, like right now, it's not that spooky on the Halloween show, but in 29 minutes. Batten down the hatches.
Right.
About 45 minutes before I was going to leave, I was like, should I just cancel?
Why?
I've had like stomach flu for the past 2 weeks, which is manifesting itself in a very unpleasant manner. But I was like, you know what? Fuck it.
Montezuma's revenge?
Yeah. So if I just suddenly burst for the bathroom.
Understood. Yeah, it's all right.
All right.
Yeah.
We got.
I'll bring the mic in, so
You've had bouts with stomach ailments and soft stools, I think, for a while now.
Well, especially ever since I got this operation. Yeah, I think it's my stomach like adjusting to being normal, not being like halfway in my chest.
Oh, okay.
So,
does the doctor tell you that, or is this just you making a self-diagnosis?
No,
oh, okay. Okay, good.
It takes a little while for it to adjust because probably. I mean, I've had a hiatal hernia since, 20 years now, maybe. Like, it started out small, but just got worse and worse. And so I guess slowly but surely it has to reassume its former identity of a real stomach. It's not fun because you don't know what what you're going to eat. But the other day, it actually wasn't my stomach. Suzanne made some kind of pasta and beef sauce and shit she got. Now, I don't know. I know people shop at Walmart, but I would not buy meat from Walmart, and I wasn't aware that she did. Sure enough, all three of us got sick.
Really?
Yeah. And I was like, what the fuck? Why? It's a perfectly serviceable grocery store right across the way.
You know, she made dinner. She tried.
She gave it the old college try. I was on the fucking bowl all night, thrown up all over the place.
That's usually that really is the college way, isn't it?
Yeah. I pretended it was college. Feel young again.
Wow. All right.
So what do we got for Halloween?
Halloween centric,
right?
Well, I have a question to put to you guys, which will lead into the annual fucking crybaby Huffington Post bullshit where their
costumes,
the costumes.
Right.
I was led to this by I was looking at something else, and I don't really look at the Huffington Post anymore, as you know. And it led to their comedy section, and there's a guy, I forget his name, I don't think it's this guy, but their comedy editor, and I'm like, how are you a comedy editor for a website when you're offended by everything?
Oh, really?
I mean, like I looked at 3 different things, like 3 different articles he'd written. He's offended by everything.
Like what? Like, give me an example of an offense.
Well, one was the costumes. He was offended by that. Let me find.
What costumes are offensive?
Okay, you want to do that first?
Yeah, let's do it because it's a Halloween episode.
We'll kick off with this.
First of all, no, I want to be clear. No costume is offensive to me. I'm not offended by it.
I'm sure there's one out there that you would be aghast if you were to be.
I mean, there's plenty of costumes that I would look like, and I look at and be like, "Well, you should do that for your own sake."
Right. Well, then that
doesn't. I don't find it offensive.
But it's a good bet though that a lot of people are going to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I said I don't find them offensive.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Without a doubt, if somebody dresses as Hitler, people are going to get offended. If you dress as...
I wouldn't even find myself offended, though.
I'm telling you, I would not be offended.
I would look at him and be like, wow, that's fucked up. Not offended.
What kind of shitstorm are you facing if you go out tomorrow as Hitler and you get caught on social media and Brian Q is in a Hitler costume?
I imagine that the show could possibly end.
Right.
Yeah.
So how could you say, though, that...
I'm not offended.
You're not offended by wearing it?
No.
I'm not stupid enough to wear one.
Yeah, I'm not dumb enough to wear it. But even at this point, like if I saw somebody walking in like a World Trade, like a 9/11 costume.
Yeah, didn't the guys from Devo do that?
Did they? I don't know.
Or something like, or they got a cake that looked like 9/11 or something.
Like I wouldn't be offended. I'd just be like, you're kind of an asshole. But like, there's nothing. You know how you like.
It wouldn't anger you being a former fireman.
No,
I would just look at him and
I'd be like, what's wrong with you?
You're going out of your way to be a dickhead.
Yes.
All right.
That's it.
What are you going to do? That person is a dickhead regardless.
Yeah, I'm not going to let you. But these people online who are like, I'm shaking with rage at this costume I saw.
Yeah, they're mad.
All right, well, let's say it is somebody who was affected by 9/11. They can shake with rage, can't they?
Absolutely. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with getting offended. I'm just saying it doesn't offend me.
You can't hit your offensive nerve.
I don't think I have an offensive nerve anymore.
Your offensive bone.
Like even when that Jeselnik comedian the day after the Boston Marathon was making
it was like an hour after it happened.
Like I wasn't like no part of me was offended. I was just like, oh, that guy's a real fucking dick. So I don't think that I have that thing that makes these people cry and shake. And
what bone would you call that, though? The bone that makes you think someone's a dick? I guess it's got to be something.
It's
a
common sense bone.
Common sense bone.
Yeah.
Okay, here's somebody, Q. You're you're an animal lover. I'm an animal lover. Mm-hmm. Walt, you're an animal lover. Ashley Benson, who I wouldn't have known who she was. I guess she's on a show called Pretty Little Liars.
Okay.
She dressed up as a lion and said, help, can't decide on my Halloween costume this year. What do you guys think of this?
Oh, Cecil
the lion costume.
Right.
And everyone, of course, was...
it's just a lion? She doesn't have like a bloodshot wound or anything like that?
No, but I mean, commenters called her clueless, insensitive, and poor taste. And then... Oh, okay. So now her Instagram caption reads, help, can't decide on my Halloween costume this year. What do you guys think of this lion costume? Because I'm sure she has so many costumes to choose from that,
Right.
And it's just her in this sort of gold lame thing it doesn't even really look like a lion.
No, it looks like what I wholeheartely support. Women dressing up sexy and going out.
Wouldn't she be dressed as a lioness?
Gold outfit with a mane on her head.
Okay, and here's the official Cecil the lion, the sexy dead lion, I guess. It's a woman in...
All right, you know what? I love animals. I drove here on leather seats. What the fuck? Like how I have a leather belt on. My shoes have some leather on them. I'm going to get upset over a woman dressed in an animal costume? The hypocrisy would be amazing.
I'm surprised that this. I mean, I know people were upset by this, and right, I could see why they were, but I really thought that the internet had forgotten this,
Yeah.
You know, they had moved on to some other
Well,
new.
they probably had until this Ashley Benson was like, hey, what do you think of this? Remember from a couple weeks ago?
Weeks. I'd say months.
I think
Has it been months now?
Like, yeah. People are offended. We can do. Mm-hmm. You either agree with them or you call them a bunch of fucking foam-faced pussholes and you move on.
Yeah, what are you going to do? Okay, so number one offensive costume.
Yeah. It's always going to be blackface, right? You can't.
Not blackface. No.
Really?
These are costumes.
All time, or you mean just this year?
This is this
Because I would agree with Q.
This is
That's got to be the most offensive costume of all time.
anybody in blackface?
Yeah.
Okay.
Offensive to people who get offended by costumes. Right.
Okay, so this, the number one costume that they have listed is Caitlyn Jenner.
That's
Okay, so it's this year then.
Yeah, this
It's
is
the most
this year's.
current.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
this year's costume. Okay.
Why is that offensive?
Well, Q.
I don't. You know what? Let's not even open this can of worms.
No, I just cracked it open. Caitlyn Jenner said she wasn't offended.
Why would you be offended?
But many in the trans community said they find the costume disrespectful. And Vincent Villano of the National Center for Transgender Equality told HuffPost, "There's no tasteful way to celebrate Caitlyn Jenner or respect transgender people this way on the one night where people use their most twisted imaginations to pretend to be villains and monsters." And of course, there's a change.org petition and blah, blah, blah. To make a costume out of a marginalized, remember I told you, anybody who's marginalized thinks they're smart, identity reduces that person and community to a stereotype for privileged people to abuse. In this case, if you follow through with the production of a Caitlyn Jenner costume, cisgender people,
That's me.
parentheses normal,
That's me.
will purchase it to make fun of her in our community. Now, let me tell you something. Sage had a Halloween party, and she dressed as Queen Elsa,
Okay.
which is not a grotesque monster. The costume was a little itchy, so for Halloween, she's going to go out as her cat, Princess Mitch.
Okay, I like that.
Who is Princess Elsa, though?
Queen Elsa's from the movie Frozen.
Oh, okay.
You see God knows how many costumes that are not monsters or grotesque creatures or any number of other things. She's a hero, right? Isn't she a hero? From what we've been told?
Some people, I guess.
People go as Batman, Superman, any other number of heroes. So why, if Caitlyn Jenner's a hero, then why can't they dress up as her?
Is it a licensed costume? Because would that make a difference then? If Caitlyn was to sign off on it and be like, yeah, okay, I'm at least getting something for the use of the costume, I think then that might change people's perceptions.
No, I don't think so. This guy says he doesn't give a fuck what Caitlyn Jenner says. He's offended for everybody.
Who's this guy? The guy that was writing the article?
He's not.
I don't understand. I mean, this is a weird one because it sounds like you're. I can't tell which you are. Are you mad at the guy who wrote the article, or are you mad at the costume?
I'm not mad at the costume at all. I find the guy who put the article together annoying, and this fucking National Center for Transgender Equality guy annoying. What better to fucking normalize transgender than to fucking include them on Halloween? They're not like I'm going out as a fucking like tranny trick or treater,
Right?
You know, I'm going out as maybe the most well-known transgender person right now, and that's it.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
I would say definitely
I guess.
a RuPaul, maybe.
yeah, no. I'll bet you Caitlyn Jenner's hotter right now, and has I see signed on for a second season of her reality show. Did you see they have another fucking midget show too?
True has another one.
Not true. TLC. The little Johnstons
The
or
Learning
something.
Channel?
Yeah, like
I understand. I always say, good for anybody who makes a little, like if a family can make a little extra money by having a show spotlight, their quote unquote life, which you're really probably not really getting a slice of their life. You're getting
Honey Boo Boo.
You're getting whatever the producers want to.
Seven Little Johnstons. That's the show.
But it is strange, though, that the only reason you're getting the show and the only reason people are going to watch it is because you're small. I find that strange, though, that is still in this day and age, that's still like, oh wow, another dwarf show.
Let's save the trip to fucking Coney Island and just turn on TLC.
I don't understand that mentality though of because when you watch the shows, there's nothing there that is like they're dealing with the same exact, which is done on purpose, obviously. Like, hey, they have the same problems that everybody else has. Mm-hmm. They put their pants on one leg at a time, just like everybody else. But yet they're still pushing it as the little family or something.
Right.
It's weird.
It's like a hypocrisy.
Is that the word?
Sure.
Okay.
Is it a hypocrisy, or is it just like you're trying to appeal to the curiosity factor? Like you say, like they're small. Okay, they got to stand on a step stool to reach shit that most people don't.
That's it. That's the only difference.
Made fucking bathroom, whatever. Yeah, like it doesn't seem to be that big of a difference. They fucking sit on telephone books to drive. I don't know. There's a couple different things they have.
I know
to do
they probably,
but a fucking whole show, week after week after week, it's weird.
And they might also people in that short stature may deal with differently with health issues too.
Sure, but
they seem to always be in an emergency room whenever I see the promos.
Wait, the whole family's little
Fuck,
people?
do a show about me.
What'd you say, Q?
The whole family is little people?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What are the odds?
With different ethnicities too, so I guess some of them are adopted.
so
what are the odds?
Yeah.
Well, if two dwarfs have a baby, there's a chance it could not be a bit dwarf.
I believe so. Yeah.
How does a normal fetus, like normal size, like is that still possible to come out of a dwarf?
I don't know.
Yeah,
that's why they're always in the emergency room. These are the things if I'd watched, then I would.
See, maybe you would learn. You're already in for the first episode.
In that first Little People show, wasn't one of the kids of a cisgender size? I don't know. I don't want to say normal because I don't know what the word is.
Maybe. I know my kids watched them, and for the life of me, when I would like whatever bits and pieces I saw. It was the same kind of drama you would see in any kind of show. There was no like small centric drama.
See, that's what I'm in for. I want to see height. Like I want to see the whole family go to an amusement park and pay a shitload of money and can't get on any of the rides.
Listen, I will not be wearing any offensive costumes.
You used to love Halloween, right?
I'm going to the parade. I'm a full costume.
What's your costume? Oh, you don't want to tell me? Well, you know what? This won't drop anyway.
Blackface midget.
A black-faced Hitler midget.
He really wants that show shut down.
See if I can find it, Walt.
Well, while you're doing that, I'll tell you the number 2. Don't dress up like an Indian guy. Not like
you mean like a Native American
7-Eleven Indian guy, okay. But yeah. Don't dress in leather.
Who's doing that?
I don't know. Like maybe sexy
Indian?
Yeah, but like this guy just looks like this just looks like too hot, right? Like all that leather would be very warm.
Did you make this or did you buy this?
I bought I bought it all, but the cowl is like a really
custom.
It's like a high quality one. The costume's pretty. It's like $100 costume just for the cape. I mean, just the cape and the bodysuit.
It looks great.
It does. It looks really good.
It's Batman 66.
It's Batman 66. Yeah. So I get the mask, so I'm able to run around the parade without anybody knowing. Much like Bruce Wayne.
Have you had any?
I'll be able to drink and carouse.
Any hijinks in the cowl?
No, not yet. But things are looking good for Halloween night. I particularly like that I'm currently one of the heaviest I've ever been. So Batman's got a gut, and also enjoy the fact that I have a beard.
Right.
So I look like gay porn Batman. Is basically what I'm going as.
Would it freak you out if whoever you're with this Halloween was to dress as Robin and you would have a little hijinks?
That would not freak me out at all.
No.
No, if I'm out in the bar and I meet a Robin,
a female Robin.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But it's not like something that you fantasize about, though.
No, it hasn't come to me until you just said it.
But now it could be.
But now you never know.
See, I would think more along the lines of like, say, Catwoman or Batgirl, maybe not Robin so much.
Well, if you got a girl in the short green,
I don't know what her outfit looks like as the
66 Robin.
yeah, that's what I mean.
she's got those
booties.
pantyhose on.
Yeah.
Oh, they look gross.
No, that's pretty good.
nude pantyhose. Yeah, they're the worst.
I disagree.
Don't put on a sombrero and a poncho and a little mustache. That's
So basically saying any stereotypes.
too offensive. Yes.
To who?
Who knows?
Okay. You're not going to get fired.
Mexican
You
people.
could get fired from your job for dressing as Hitler. You're not going to get fired from a job dressing as a mariachi.
The
It's not
geisha
gonna happen.
costume hypersexualizes an entire race of women. So don't do that.
Oh, my God.
You wouldn't want to do that, would you?
And this is a comedy writer who wrote this?
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, where was the comedy in this?
I don't know. It's
Was he
certainly
trying to
not
be
in the next
funny?
one because let's not objectify a serious career like nursing. Don't go as a sexy nurse.
Are you kidding me?
I swear
Sexy
to God.
nurse is like the cornerstone of all sexy costumes. It all comes from sexy nurse.
Q, if you're going to laugh at mental illness, you better stop right now. It's not funny to dress as a guy with a straitjacket on. It says like property of mental institution. Don't dress as a giant puss.
Why?
That's what that is? That doesn't,
I wouldn't have even known.
that just
Looks like a hot dog with ketchup on it.
yeah, it looks like a
That's-
pink hot dog.
That's what I would have thought too. But yeah, don't do that. Now, if you're thinking about the going as the old standard, you know, when your parents are like last minute costume, all right, let's give
Oh,
a little
bum.
bit of.
We've
dare
all
you
done
say
it. The
bum.
hobo. I'm sorry, the hobo.
How dare you?
Really?
Hobo, how dare you?
No, hobo.
No, you have to say.
didn't say-
Let's see. Walt, I'm sorry to say, but back then you were dehumanizing people on a.
Oh, wow.
Lampooning people who can't afford basic provisions. It's insensitive. I'm ashamed of sixth grade Walt. I can't
I
take
did it. I had the best damn hobo costume of all time.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you have the satchel with the?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was.
What do they call those
I
things?
had,
A
I
bindle.
had a rubber cigar.
Ah,
Yeah. I looked.
Well, if-
Red Skeleton was jealous.
Before, yeah, behind your back.
Well, what about a
everyone
skeleton?
Was mad at you for. Well, I
if
got
you go as a skeleton,
right
you're
here.
making fun of
Anorexia.
dead people.
It's an eating disorder, don't you know?
Yes.
Oh, anorexia.
Yeah. That's not funny.
We covered that one last year. But like just a skeleton, isn't that making fun of dead people?
People who
I think
are,
that's-
Yeah, the living challenged. Aren't you making fun of living challenged?
I think you might be. But last but not least,
Yeah.
and this
gotta be blackface.
This
This guy is saying that blackface
touches
is
me.
okay.
Well, blackface I think is a given.
Is this implied?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm. Well, it's at
You
the very
can't buy that in a,
the very
in a
last
costume
one
store,
says
though.
You can buy
this is the biggest no-no.
Oh, that
ever,
is-
which is blackface.
What is that?
That is blackface.
This is a girl from last year. She was going as one of the
Girls from Orange is the New Black.
Oh. I forget her name. It's probably here somewhere. Maybe I don't know. But this hits close to home, and if I see anything like this, I'll be extremely offended. Don't be a fat anything.
Really?
Yeah, you don't dress up as anything that may be
Okay.
fat. Tweedledee, Tweedledum. They're kind of fat, right? From Alice in
Sure,
Wonderland.
yeah.
You can't dress as them. It's just
Was there anybody who wanted to be Tweedledee and Tweedledum past 1950?
probably not, but I'm just saying. Change your mind.
So basically, you have to go out on Halloween as yourself. You have to just go out wearing your normal clothes and just be yourself, because otherwise, if you're going to be a witch, that's a religion. You're making fun of a religion.
Go up as maybe an astronaut,
Okay.
fireman,
Okay.
football player.
You can't go as a cop
Why?
because
No, why?
well, you're not supposed to impersonate a cop. Two,
to get shot.
two, like that could be an offensive statement on, cops are having their PR troubles right now. Are you making a statement?
Wow, you must have you must have cleared your costume with Batman 66, and it sounds like you have your PR or your person gave you the lowdown.
No, not at all. What I
what's up?
do is, well, to come to these conclusions is I just put my mind in the most weakest knee-jerk, weepy cry, pusshole mind possible, and then you could see how everything offends everybody. You know, you can't go as Cartman because he's fat, right? You can't.
Oh, no, go as Cartman.
You can't do that. So all you got to do is pretend that you have no place, like in World War II, you'd be dead in 2 seconds. Like in a society where, you know, you really actually to be someone instead of just a whining, crying puss hole, and then you could just see why everything's offensive. Well, that's all you got to do, buddy.
I can't do it. Yeah.
Think about if you were born like a wolf. Just pretend you're the cub that everybody else would eat and kill right away because you're too weak to make it as a wolf in the world. And that is how you decide who can wear what costumes. That's how I feel. That's it. Weakest link, buddy. That's what we got to do.
Okay, well, here's my question for you guys because, like I said, Sage wants to go out as Princess Mitch, and her costume is black and white.
Okay.
She kind of looks like Snoopy almost, except a cat. She's like black and white all over.
Right.
Now, Salem is all black.
Right.
Sage wants Suzanne to go out as Salem.
Yes. That's not blackface.
That's acceptable, right?
No, God, just please don't try to put. Don't try to.
Well,
don't try to put.
You put a little nose, some whiskers on there.
Nose on, and whiskers, and a pair of cat ears. She's fine. You don't need to go the full, the full 100, full in and put any kind of any face makeup on.
But I think
you're just inviting trouble. Then
I agree. No, that's not blackface.
That's not blackface, right?
Yeah, that's not blackface.
Like you're a feline.
You're not presenting you're another race.
And
you're a cat.
And you're also the makeup is so black that to say that any human being is that black is erroneous. They're not.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. Back in the day, remember how black that blackface was with those big and also don't give her big red lips. You know what I mean? Like
Salem doesn't have big red lips. Just little white whiskers.
Yeah, that's fine.
Blackface. We're going to see how that works out.
I can't believe that anybody would choose to put on blackface in this day and age. That, to me, is insane, but people do it every year.
Yeah, well, here's somebody dressed as Kanye and Kim Kardashian thinking that, why not?
I don't get it.
It really is like... It's at some point here, though, as a society, we will rise above and we will as a whole,
blackface okay again.
we all will understand. Don't do it. No matter how clever you think you are, how funny you are, this Halloween, it's not worth it.
That's what people have to realize, that it's not worth it.
You know, you think you're being ironic. You think you're making a statement.
Right.
To me, anybody who would try to reclaim blackface would be trying, like people who try to reclaim the swastika. Like originally it meant
right,
blah blah blah.
It was a sun symbol.
Yeah, it was an Aztec symbol or whatever the fuck it is they say. Originally, blackface was not offensive. It was actually pro-black. You can't take it back.
Actually, thinking about it, Walt, my Batman costume, I may not be able to wear it because really, if you think about Batman. His parents got killed in front of him. Basically, he's dealing with a horrific case of post-traumatic stress disorder. He basically is what he's doing. So Batman, in essence, is someone that needs help. He's mentally ill, and there I am.
Yes, it's definitely an unresolved mental issue.
Yeah, it's post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, and here I am
making light of it.
Burn that costume, Q.
I'm going. I have every
Burn it up.
intention of it.
Burn it up.
I can't believe it. Superman's probably safe though, right?
I would think so.
Yeah. All right.
I got a big announcement regarding ads. Apparently, Q, I've been informed, Brian, I've been informed that we're losing sponsors.
We're losing sponsors, and I put the blame squarely on my own shoulders.
I see.
You can't deny it.
I see compliments with you and Alicia. People really like those spots.
Well, they haven't, but the sponsors. I guess the bottom line is no conversions. I've been told conversions.
Conversions are what matter.
Conversions are what matter, and I have to take full responsibility. And
why? Why are you putting this on yourself?
I mean, if the ads aren't working, some of the spot. I mean, I don't know if you guys even know this. Had an ad pulled did an ad and it got pulled.
It got pulled. What ad was that?
It was for a FanDuel where I went after FanDuel for all the problems and they got pulled.
They actually listened to the
I wouldn't
episode?
even thought they'd listen to it. Yeah.
Well, no, it was pulled. It was pulled even before it could get out.
Smodco pulled it?
I guess it would be Smodco. DK, yeah, he didn't want the ad to be running. He said
Why?
it was went too hard after
Too
him.
inflammatory. What did you say?
I was just going to go with commenting. I had Ming.
Should I assume this is not an ad for FanDuel?
I mean, it was basically an ad where Ming couldn't figure out why he wasn't winning on his fantasy football leagues, and he called FanDuel. And FanDuel gave him the runaround, and
but that was like right before the thing came out. Right?
It was right around it was in response to the controversy over
well, the way I understand it is there's
Kings or
FanDuel
something?
and there's DraftKings.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what was happening was people, like guys who worked for FanDuel, were getting the picks from because they would
insider info somehow.
Insider info from the DraftKings people. Not from their own FanDuel people, but like whatever. Like let's say who's a football player.
Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning. Let's say Peyton Manning was like a number one choice. They would know that. And then the number two choice. So like whatever the top picks were, like when you took all the customers who picked their fantasy football teams together, whatever was the best lineup, right? I would guess.
Yeah.
Like that's who the FanDuel insiders. This is my understanding.
So it doesn't sound like it's hurting anybody. It just sounds lazy.
They won like a fucking quarter of
Yeah, with that
dollars.
information, the insider information, they're able to win that weekend like $250,000. So
Yeah, they won a lot.
It's a big deal. I mean, now that you got politicians talking about it, but to get back to our little corner of the world where we're not talking about $250,000.
So these are the people that
We're talking about
that
$250,000.
DK is trying to protect.
No. He would know, and I don't want to say DK. It was the advertising agency. I guess they were bringing other sponsors their way, and he didn't want to have that ad go out. Really taking them to the piss out of them.
Well, tell him, Steve Dave.
You know what? That used to mean something. It don't mean nothing anymore.
No,
the sponsors, the sponsors are not are
not entertained anymore.
no.
But then we don't need the sponsors.
Nature Box dropped us.
No.
Trunk Club
Nature Box.
dropped us.
No
Who
conversions.
Trunk Club.
Trunk Club.
Well, that's
So we
Trunk
gotta-
Club, I'm not fucking surprised.
Yeah.
So we
that-
got to go back to the old way. It can't be me doing these crazy fucking long ass stories and going.
Why
going
Nature
off
Box? I thought
Yeah,
they
Nature
liked
Box.
us. But also, it's just like, don't you hit a saturation point where, like,
I love
how
that
many
you-
Nature Box ads can we do
Right.
before, like, whoever's going to get it, got it?
I mean, I love that you guys are trying to like deflect the blame where it should go, but
It is not our fault or your fault.
It isn't
Anyone
your
else's fault but
It
ours.
can't be. I mean, and maybe we just got to go back to just doing the reads like we're going to
Rambling
do now.
17-minute commercials.
And that's just the way it is. But like the like I was doing this one. I know that they're not that I didn't get exactly what was said, but something wasn't. I don't think something
Who
was.
cares what they like? Let's just
They're
do
the
what we want.
sponsors.
I don't give a shit who they are. Let's just do what we want. If they don't want
But
to
it's not
sponsor,
working though.
It is working.
No, it's not.
How many
I'm
spots
telling
we
you,
have
it's
this
not
week?
working.
We're not getting our
Two.
conversions.
So we have two.
We got 2 conversions.
We're not. I mean, we're not getting the conversions we
Including
used to. I mean, it is a sign of. I mean, it's just. I mean, maybe it's just it's run its course.
Well, I like I said, I definitely think with some sponsors, it's like people who like Hulu Plus. That's a company that sponsored us like week after week after week, and eventually whoever wants Hulu Plus got it. Right. Same with Nature Box. If you're going to order Nature Box, you got it. I don't think we add that many people every week that you can expect.
Well, I had this one that was so convoluted. I was told, it was a little bit off the tracks. Okay. Where
maybe you don't do enough Jim Jones.
I don't know. Did that Jim Jones one ever air? I don't even know if I
did. Yeah.
But I had one where it was called one of the sponsors this week. It was called SeatGeek, which I've abandoned it. Whereas I had Gidim was SeatGeek. Gidim was working at a carnival. as the SeatGeek, and people thought that it meant that they could go in and he would face sit them, or that they could sit on his face.
You recorded this already?
Yeah, I recorded it.
Oh, we got it.
And then they thought he was going to bite chickens heads off, and he goes, "No, I just sit here and I order and search for cheap NFL tickets."
Right.
And apparently, not one person even went to the website, I guess, for TSD. I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but it was the Hindenburg of remember when they did those two fucking joggers in the Olympics for McDonald's?
No.
Remember that one of the guys didn't even make the Olympic team?
Yeah.
It was our new Coke. Was
okay.
So
I think actually now that I'm thinking about it, it's not your fault. It's not our fault. It's the ants' fault because they're not buying the shit and they're not fucking converting. So you're all to blame.
I mean, it's admirable. I mean, it is nice that you guys are. I mean, because. I don't know. I feel like, it's got to go back to basics.
All
and
right.
right now, let's go back to basics
let's see how many
with a Dollar Shave one. No more
Dollar Shave's back?
white exploitation characters. No more, crazy, ridiculous scenarios. It's just Dollar Shave now.
Okay.
This sounds good.
Let's see how many conversions this gets.
So in other words, like every other person who does Dollar Shave.
Well, maybe, I don't know. I don't know what to do.
The magic of Sunday, Jeff. Well, Dollar Shave, let's see if I can remember, since we haven't done a regular commercial
We
in
put
so
them
long.
on the map. We made Dollar Shave.
It's dollarshaveclub.com. They've revolutionized the way men shave. And I think it's basically because it's inexpensive. Not cheap, Q, but inexpensive razors. The razors are so good, millions of guys have joined.
Sure.
Some of them got to be ants, right? I'm sure.
Some of those conversions.
Yeah. And what happens, I guess, is you send your... Wait, what do you do? Go to dollarshaveclub.com/TSD.
Is this the beginning? Is this the first sign of a bloated on its last legs podcast? They can't get their listener base to converge.
Well, I'd rather than buy jerseys and fucking razor blades. I'll tell you that much.
What's that?
I'd rather than buy jerseys and razor blades. So fuck them. Fuck you, Dollar Shave.
Where do they got to go to buy those razors that we're pushing for them?
SteveDave.com.
Bring you right to that gorgeous jersey,
Yeah.
Why would you need a nice hockey beard, so who needs a razor? The $1 billion razor companies, they're freaking out, Q.
Yeah, well,
according
of course.
to this
Copy.
this wire, it just came across the wire, but instead of lowering their bloated prices, they're trying to fool you into milking the same blade for a month. That's just gross. It's just... I guess it is inexpensive, and they send you new blades all the time. Now, I'll tell you what. The one thing Dollar Shave is telling the truth about that I'm certain of is you go to an inexpensive place. I can't vouch for other things here, but you go to Target, you go to I don't care where you go.
Yeah.
Razor blades are a lot.
It's unbelievable. It's like $17 for two.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's
sometimes it's cheaper just to buy like the whole handle and shit and get a couple razors. I don't know if you want to. If you want to join dollarshaveclub.com/TESD, it doesn't say on this copy what exactly is going to happen, but I know that you sign up for 1, 2, or 3 levels, and then they send you new razor blades.
It's not like
and
they
you
knew.
You don't even have to think about it.
It's not like they knew what like we gave the listeners what they were going to get when we had Jeff doing it as some sort of like urban.
Mm-hmm. Well, you put a little creativity into it, and everybody gets fucking upset.
No,
wait, you're not reading it like everyone else.
I think that when we were getting the conversions, we could do whatever we wanted. But now, when you're not getting the conversions, you can't be artistic.
Yep.
So basically, everybody's just getting boring commercials until
No, they
until
have
conversions
Why,
are
this
up.
was good.
They have new hair clay. Isn't this the fucking most creative commercial you've ever
but
heard?
we had nobody's getting Sunday Jeff. Nobody is getting the Get 'em acting.
All the highly produced commercials that people were fucking super happy with in the beginning. Now they're like, cut the shit.
Well, I mean, if it's not working. It's not working. We got to try a new angle. That's my opinion. I'm open. I mean, I have to be open to it. I mean,
So
results.
Let me ham-handedly read these bullet points.
Results speak for themselves, and the results apparently are not good.
Okay.
We haven't been pulling the conversions like Tell 'em Steve Dave used to when we were, I guess,
On
fresher.
top of our game.
All right.
All right.
Okay, so what's the other commercial?
All right.
I'll
So you
read
want to
the
go
other
right
one.
into the other one?
I'll read the other one.
We're done with Dollar Shave. We gave him.
I think we gave him the bullet points, man. That's where we're at these days.
That's what they want. So let's see how many conversions they
What
get
is
with
it,
that
Dollar
boring
Shave?
ass
Well,
shit.
How? I mean,
There's a $1 a month, $6 a month, and $9 a month
program for Dollar Shave.
Yep.
I mean,
They got all kinds of other products too: ass wipes, shave butter, hair clay.
maybe we can get the ants maybe to just not even just maybe bring it to the attention of Nature Box that maybe they dug the ads when we had the ads or the Trunk Club ads. But you know what? Money. I mean, I don't know. There's
Trunk
no easy
Club,
answer.
I'm sorry,
advertising is a bitch, man.
Trunk Club is expensive. It's fucking expensive. Yeah. That's the problem.
Yeah, it is.
All right, you ready?
Are we on to ad two?
What do we got? Get them Steve Dave money?
All right, SeatGeek.
SeatGeek?
I'm going to try and do this as professional as possible.
All right.
Hey, guys, the NFL season has started, and SeatGeek is the place to get tickets to this week's game.
Awesome.
It says
Wait, seat?
Seat. As
Oh,
you sit on
like
a
you're
seat.
This is the one where I
Yeah.
said initially I thought it was clever that he was
sitting on people's faces?
and people were paying to sit on this, but they thought they were. But when they got into the tent, the carnival tent, he was just on a computer
Looking up tickets.
ordering tickets, and they were kind of disappointed. Yeah,
because they wanted to sit on the geek's face. All right, I like it. I
you
love
like
it.
that, right? I thought you would like that. Me and you are probably the ones who liked it.
It sounds good to me.
Well, apparently no one even got the joke because no one knew because it went over everyone's head, and Geckel was even like, I didn't realize that was.
What are you talking about? What's a geek?
All right, well, now I'm going to talk about the big games for this week.
There's a big one. One that just passed.
Well, these are tickets. I'm looking at it right now, Q. These are not just
Listen to me,
sports events. You can go to rock shows. You can go see Miley Cyrus.
Of course, dude.
With her tits out.
I'm going to go see that. I saw her live recently.
Miley Cyrus?
Yeah.
Really? You went to a
Lord,
concert?
why?
With Miley
I
Cyrus?
didn't go to a concert. I went to a network party, and they hired her to play it.
The what are they called? The ups?
The upfronts.
The upfronts? You
Yeah.
went to that, huh?
And she was very entertaining. I gotta say.
Did you know that she's labeled herself pansexual, which means she'll do anything with anybody. She does not with anybody, but like she's open to everything.
Well, that's good.
And she wants to be
dangerous,
referred.
though.
She wants to be referred to as they. I learned this from a girl on Twitter. Oh no, she twin.
Okay.
You can't be up for everything because some stuff's really dangerous.
Yeah.
Like the brown.
Well, I'm talking about not. How's that dangerous?
SeatGeek.
We're talking
How's
about.
that dangerous?
We're talking about like animals.
Like, I don't know.
I don't know. It's just weird, right? She's. I don't think she should be a role model for kids.
She's a goddamn genius.
That's not her job being the role model. But like enough with the flesh in your crotch and the
Why?
buttons
She's
over your
laughing
tits.
her way to the bank.
Go away, Miley Cyrus.
I disagree with
Make
you.
room for your little sister.
Do you think that you're invited to the upfronts?
Yeah.
Would you consider that if you're not invited to the upfronts, you're not really part. You're not considered really important to the network if you're not invited to the upfronts.
If they don't even think about you to invite you to the upfronts, that's pretty sad.
All right, SeatGeek, let's go.
Enough said.
That's it. That's it. We're not going any further with that.
I just wanted a little clarification.
He's not going to name names.
Well, I didn't get none. I don't know. Did you get an invite to the upfront? Oh, yeah, but you did. And you just didn't go.
I just didn't go.
Oh, I didn't get one.
Well, they know you're not going.
Oh, so you guys were invited?
I wasn't.
Oh.
They know Walt's not going.
Bullshit. They don't know
you.
that.
They know you can't keep Ming away.
All right.
SeatGeek.
SeatGeek, come
all
on,
right.
man. Black
Listen,
Sabbath is playing. The Oak Ridge Boys.
All right, listen. You can get tickets to the game from SeatGeek. Listeners can use the promo code TESD in the SeatGeek app and get, are you ready for this? A $20 rebate off your first SeatGeek purchase. It'll take less than a minute to download the app today. SeatGeek does a ton of things that other ticketing sites don't. First, SeatGeek pulls in ticket options from hundreds of online sellers to create a one-stop shop for tickets. When you shop on SeatGeek, Walt, you're seeing virtually every ticket option available for that game all on one page. No need to go anywhere else.
What's that? What do they call that? That's
Amalgamated?
Yeah, something like that.
I'm sorry, did you just say that you thought that is as good as it can get? Hold on. Also, they have this great feature called Deal Score. It ranks every ticket on the market with a 1 to 100 value score and plots the best deals on a color-coded interactive map so you can easily identify the best ticket values in the building at a glance. Finally, SeatGeek's mobile app makes the ticket buying process seamless and easy. This is important. I think this is the most important one. No more typing squiggly letters you can't read into a box like other sites make you do.
I'll tell you what. If SeatGeek doesn't make you do that, that's my new site. I fucking hate that shit.
the worst,
You
right?
can't even read it. I'm like, I have no idea what this says, and I get it wrong all the time.
Yeah, it looks like alien language.
Yeah. Not at SeatGeek, my friend. On SeatGeek, you can store your credit card, and once you find the ticket you want to buy, you complete the purchase with just 2 quick taps. There's no faster way to buy tickets. To redeem your promo code and save $20 on tickets, download the free SeatGeek app today. Enter promo code TESD into the app. SeatGeek will then send you $20 once you've made your first SeatGeek purchase. Every ticket on SeatGeek is backed by a 100% guarantee. Download the free SeatGeek app today. Enter promo code TESD today.
Very well done.
Wow.
That's it. Boom.
All right.
You ready to close the store down and get it spooky in here?
Yes.
While we do that, you know what? We have a couple of things to get into before we invite our guest in.
You want to talk about that right now?
Sure.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. One is I brought the Rosie O'Donnell Barbie doll that I signed for Get 'Em. Sal did not sign it, but Get 'Em will be auctioning that off on eBay for his teeth.
Yeah, look for that to go up on Friday night, a week from the 30th.
Okay. That'll
Okay.
be up. Great.
That'll be up by then if any ants are interested in that.
Great. And the big announcement, Brian Walters off securing our guests is, as listeners know, you and I will be performing Space Monkeys or 2 on the Impractical Jokers cruise that floats out of Miami January 11th.
That is going to be fun.
It's going to be because we just lined up a guest that hasn't been announced yet that's going to make comedy nerds kick themselves if they don't come on this cruise.
Really?
Yeah, and I'll tell you off air. I can't announce yet. It's huge.
I put I put it up the other day. I put a link to our little thing, and I said, this is as close to getting to Cuba as I've come so far. So my plan is to disembark and maybe take a little ferry over to Cuba. And I gotta say, girls got nuts, man. I said, who's in?
Really?
All women.
Every
Every single person who is like, I'm going, let's have a cigar. All women, man. They're all, not all of them, but many of them are down for it. Not one guy was like, hey, I'm coming. I was thinking about maybe wearing a paramilitary outfit, dye my beard, and go to maybe they'll think I'm Castro.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
Surely that's not offensive to anybody.
No, not at all.
We understand that not everybody can afford the cruise, Walt.
No,
As
I'm well aware, the cruises are
Sure.
expensive.
And there are
Especially the medical follow-up care.
so we have secured a cabin to give away on Tell 'em Steve Dave sometime in the next couple of weeks.
For a lucky aunt to bring him and a guest or her and a guest.
I imagine so.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're gonna get the exact details and rules coming next week. We're gonna come up with a great game to give away.
You want to make it a comp?
Yeah, I think so. Like
a 2 people call in.
Yeah.
One's on your team, one's on Bry's team.
I think so. Right.
All right. That's fine. I'll come up with some.
And we'll award the cabin to it. But my only thing is, it's got to be a real aunt. No,
How are you going to prove that?
I don't know.
Is there a DNA test?
I don't know.
Swab?
Maybe a series of questions. Maybe a series of questions
While on air,
right? Just to even qualify,
just to get on one of your guys' teams.
That's right.
They're going to have to answer a number of questions to prove their antness.
That's right.
Okay, I'm down for that.
So you'll be. I imagine you have to pay your own way down to Miami, but after that,
everything else is
I think you got to pay
jokers.
for alcohol on the boat too. But the food, you get in the cruise.
Free.
Whatever
the
it is,
room is free.
That's right. All the shows, everything is free already, so that's no big deal. So, and it's a nice room too. I'm told we're not
Space
sticking
Monkeys only. You can't get into any of the other shows.
We're not sticking you in steerage. I believe it has a balcony. The room. Yes, I'm being told it's a nice setup. So
that's a pretty good price.
Yeah. So spread the word. We'll start figuring that out.
But when will we look to do this?
Maybe Tuesday.
Oh, really? Okay, that's soon. Okay, all right.
Or we can announce it Tuesday and then do, because I'm going away on tour. When I come back, I'm flying back just to tell them, Steve Dave, we could do it that night.
Boom.
Yeah?
Done.
All right. Great. Okay, so more details next week about when the actual contest is. But as for now, let's get back into the Halloween spooky hijinks.
All right, well, let's start them.
Okay.
Officially start.
We already know what's offensive and what we shouldn't wear.
You want to turn off that mic? Okay. Stores are closed. The lights are out. The candles are lit.
We have a candelabra.
It's time to celebrate.
Well, this is your guest. We can introduce him. I don't know your name.
Introduce yourself to us.
I'm Christopher Midos. I own Earth Spirit New Age Center here in Red Bank. We're a metaphysical, psychic, occult bookstore, and we've been here for 25 years.
So you would, it's okay to say you are an expert on the occult, or as close to it in this town?
Sure. yeah, that works. Absolutely, yeah.
Occult.
Yeah.
The word. When you hear the word Q, what does it conjure up in your head? Occult.
Overkill episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Bats.
You think about yourself and your past
witches,
satanic endeavors.
Witches. You think of witches? You think of the occult?
Sure. Isn't that where occult? Isn't that like the very definition of occult? Is like witches and.
Well, there's two different types. There's Hollywood witches,
yes,
and there's actual people who practice witchcraft, and those things are very separate for the most part.
Okay.
Yeah, my mother claims she's a witch.
Oh, that's right.
Wiccan.
That's right.
Why'd you say claim?
Well, because she doesn't abide by any of the Wiccan tenets, I've never seen such a consumer in my life. And they're not really about that. They're really more like sort of environmentalists, right? They're out there hugging trees and...
In theory, they're supposed to be. It's supposed to be you put something out in order to get something back. So a lot of people who are into Wicca do environmental stuff, but a lot of them are real big-time consumers. I mean, part of our business is that they buy a lot.
Well, that helps you, right?
Sure,
if they don't
absolutely.
follow the tenants so close.
Well, no, the tenants don't consume. It's
which is almost impossible in this world.
But like Hollywood witches, were they based on the Wiccan, or was that something that somebody made that connection later on?
You got to blame the Catholic Church for all that.
Sure.
Most of what we look at,
just like they get blamed for everything else.
Well, Satanism, which is what most people associate with witchcraft, really isn't. There's only a very small.
You understand we're part of young Hollywood. It's offended all of us. You may as well be in blackface when you say this.
The Catholic Church sort of marginalized and made what people would do in ancient cultures into something evil and dark. And so they kind of hung this label of Satanism stuff. And there are witches who do that, but that's like a very small percentage of them. And so most of what you see, like with these various movies, are witches that are doing like black magic. They're brides of the devil type of thing. And that's not. We don't have anything to do with that.
Right. You don't even believe in that stuff, right?
I don't even believe in the devil. No, I don't.
Oh,
well, there's Dick Cheney. But for the most part, there are some living things that I could see are really, truly evil. But as far
as you don't believe in the devil, so you don't believe in God?
No, that's not true. It's what Wiccans tend to believe, and my affiliation with Wicca is kind of, or they call it Wicca, is a little more loose at this time period than it used to be many years ago. But they believe that God is the God-goddess energy is a very neutral type of thing, and the more you walk in the positive, the more positive comes to you. But I don't see it that way, and that is a very Western way of thinking. If there's going to be one, there's got to be the other. if there's going to be good, there's got to be evil. It doesn't always work that way. There's a force of good and there's a force of chaos, which those two things can exist together without there actually being an active force. There's a force of chaos in the universe, and that goes against our established order, which we would see as a good thing. Am I making any sense?
Sure.
You don't see many movies with witches in them, though. Like there was that.
There's that new one though. With
The Witches of Eastwick.
Yeah, that new one from fucking '87. No, there was that one. I can't remember what it was a couple of years ago.
What about that one that Rob Zombie did? Was the one where the witch, the Salem...
Lords of Salem.
Yeah, was that witches?
There's some witches in that one, yeah. I think it's
isn't
more...
the Blair Witch Project?
Yes.
Yeah, 99.
The whole second season
I'm
of,
talking recently.
The whole second season
American
of...
Horror Story. It's
I wasn't even saying that. Penny Dreadful. The bad guys were
How is
witches.
that? Any good?
I love that show.
Do you?
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out.
You would love it for the atmosphere alone. Like, it's a good show. Everybody's good on it. But
It's like Victorian.
they nail it.
Yeah.
They nail it. Yeah, it's great. And, Eva Green plays a witch. You can't really go wrong with that. You know what I mean?
Who?
Eva Green.
I don't know who she is.
Show you. They'll look her up.
Let me look her up.
So,
You know what I'm saying?
Will I pop a supernatural boner?
Yeah.
do you...
There's going to be chaos in your pants in about 2 seconds.
Oh, hello, you.
Oh my goodness.
Hello, evil.
When you say you don't believe in the devil and everything, so afterlife, no?
Oh, sure, I believe in it. Well, I believe there's a lot more than what we understand. And I certainly do believe to a certain degree reincarnation, but I don't really understand all the mechanisms of it. I've seen too much phenomena in my life of people who are able to recognize those types of things.
That's what we would love to hear about, some phenomena. Oh, wow.
There's ghosty things that happen. I mean, it happened to us right here in Red Bank. I mean, the house, the building that we were in over on West Front Street before we moved, that place was haunted. I mean, there's lots right here in town of very ghosty, spiritual type of things.
It's an old town, right?
It's a very old town.
What's
Yes, it is.
haunted? What building's haunted?
Oh, we were over 16 West Front Street, and that place was just crawling with spirits. I mean,
Well, can we back up just a little bit before we get into this? Talk to me about your experiences with this. Like, what makes you the guy to talk to about this? Like, what do you see? What's your experience? What's your background a little bit with it? Because a lot of people out there right now don't have a lot of experience with this.
yes,
So,
true.
so could you, just give us your credentials, I guess, is the word.
There's no formal schooling.
Of course. Right.
I was raised with the tradition. I mean, my mother was very Christian, but we were certainly raised with mediumship. I mean, she was doing Rosicrucian rituals, which were, seeing yourself in a past life in a mirror. At a very small age, she was doing all these things. So I had an introduction to it. And then as I got older, I kind of pulled away from it a little bit, and I got very involved with astrology, which kind of seemed like science because it's astrology, but it's still an occult thing. Mm-hmm. And I got really pulled into that, and that became something I really wanted to do. And I also started reading tarot, because tarot and astrology are very connected to each other. And I studied with various people in the well, a lot of people that have passed on now. And I've just had a lot of experience over the years with people who are psychics, who do psychic work. I myself, I've been doing psychic readings at the store for about 25 years.
Okay. Are you, first of all, you seem like you have a good sense of humor about these things. Like, you don't seem like you're taking everything so seriously. Which is different from it not being serious, but you're not...
I have drawn a lot of negative energy from the community around, because my mother and I have a major bullshit detector, which I think is why we've been in business so long.
Okay.
It's just, there are people who you meet who say they're this and other thing, and they go, right. And then there are people who you just go, shit, who are really good, who have certain gifts and abilities, and you can't deny it.
Right.
I've seen it, and I'm very cynical about a lot of things.
Right.
But I've seen a lot, and I don't think it's just a willingness to believe it. I think it's actually what I've seen and things I've experienced.
And do you find, half the people, if not more, when you meet them and you go into this, have to just be like, I don't believe in this shit, right? Not the people that come in the shops, because obviously they're there for it.
Yeah,
but
there's a number of people that come in just to let us know they don't believe in it, too.
Really?
Oh, yeah. We've had sure. We've had born-again Christians come in. Oh, yeah.
To give you a hard time?
These people that set up shop down right at the crosswalk of White Street, right? In the summer, there's some Bible thumpers out there.
Oh, yeah. We've had a few.
They come in, they give you some shit, huh?
That's terrible. That's like, it's like, we get that too a little bit. Some come in and be like, we hate comic book man. And I'm like, whatever.
How could you?
So, we all deal with it. on different levels. So
Nobody's ever told me they don't like Impractical Jokers, so I don't know.
Yeah, I've yet to hear that, Q.
you know what? You're not.
I'm not on the front lines.
You're not on the front lines. Like
I'm only kidding. People have told me. People have told me.
Just don't play any on me.
Yeah, but nobody ever came into the firehouse and was just like, "You guys suck."
But as firemen?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that would be horrendous, though.
But I think it's horrendous to go into his business and to say
It's not as much as it was for a while, and I'm sure you probably have dealt with a lot because I totally appreciate everything Kevin Smith did in regards to the Catholic Church. I mean, we loved Dogma. That was like such a great movie, and and I think a lot of people got very offended by some of those things too. But they shouldn't, because it's all funny. It's poking fun at, and I think he's as respectful as we try to be with our perspective on it. But yeah, I do believe in it, but I think there's also a lot of BS with it too. So you've got to be careful.
Okay, so you see ghosts, feel?
Oh, there are times, yes. There
Spirits
are times,
or ghosts?
Well,
is there a difference?
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
Thank you, Q.
There's ghosts. Well, there's a lot of different ways of looking at this. There are people, and I think a lot of people believe that there are spirits sort of trapped between the world, that they've died and they don't know they're dead, and I don't know. I don't believe.
Carnival of Souls.
I don't want to believe the universe is such a
sometimes.
terrible place that people would die and not realize, and they need some idiot to push them into the white light. But
that would be Bri.
Yeah. I need a
Go.
shove.
Kick. Give a kick in the ass and go towards the light.
Yeah, for Christ's sakes. Towards the light. God damn it.
There's a lot of people who believe that there's something called like an imprint. There's like a spiritual energy, like it's on a repeat, almost like on a loop, where something is very intense and it keeps getting repeated in an environment, and you see it over and over again.
Yeah, so it's not.
They're not always aware of you, and that's the whole thing. You'll see these things, and it's like you'll see something, and it's like it's not aware you're there. There are times where things are aware that you're there.
Okay.
And that can be a little more creepy depending upon what your threshold is with that. My mother told me when I was a kid, she said, most kids when they say, "Mom, I saw a ghost," the mother would say, she'd say, "Well, talk to them, see if they, if you're not comfortable with them, tell them to go away."
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Would you talk to a ghost like you would talk to us, or do you talk with it just with your head, like not out loud?
Do you talk like this to him?
You know what? It's been a while since I've had any type of communication energy like that because I get so not into it. But when I have had those experiences where it's been very strong, I think the last time was maybe about 2 or 3 years ago. I have a house over on the west side of town, and in my backyard there's an old well that they kind of like filled in, but it's still the stone. And I was out having a cigarette when I was smoking. And I actually saw something out in the yard, like a very clear image of a man, like in 19th century garb. And it was just this moment of it freaked the living shit out of me. And usually I have a good reaction to that, but it was and I was like, okay, you can go. But I didn't say it out loud. I did think it.
You did. You just thought it.
Yeah. But I mean, it's okay to. Yeah, it did.
What do you mean? Just disappeared or just floated away?
It just kind of vanished from my consciousness. I mean,
were you smoking a cigarette?
I was, and I was also. I had a couple
funny cigarette
at the Globe too. So not outside. Do that inside.
Because Rob Bruce came in here one time swearing he saw some sort of creature, and then I got to the bottom of a
he said
drug
he saw an
habit.
angel. He had his car. He had a car accident when he was younger.
Yes.
He said an angel saved him. He swears on that.
Well, only because he almost ran over the Jersey Devil.
I don't know if you know this, Chris. Chris, right?
Yeah.
But I've recently, I don't know if you've heard this, gone very cash poor. I've gone very cash poor. I don't know if that
The tax man. Can you want to put a spell on the tax man?
So one of my investments was I bought a rental property in a retirement village in Florida. And
Bad
I went
juju.
I went to check it out because what happens is these old folks, they just kick off and the family just sells the house as is, everything in it.
Right.
So I did that this week and I went down there and I walked in and I gotta say, to walk into someone else's house, it's essentially someone else's house.
Yeah.
With all there was snow globes,
The smell too, right?
Yeah, it smelled like a person. All their, everything was in there. They just took out the clothes, but there was snow globes, wall decorations.
And you own it all now.
I own it all. I own the snow.
What are you doing with those snow globes?
You want me to grab them for you because you can have them. And that night, I slept in what was this person's bed.
In the bed he died. The person died in.
That I don't think so.
Why were you doing
You are
this?
cash poor. Why the fuck don't you go to a hotel? You sleep
Well, I
in
own the house. Why the fuck would I stay in a hotel?
I know.
I'm not
An
sure-
old,
I'm not sure I would
fucked
do
up
that.
mattress.
Yeah, I mean, the person may have
wash
died.
the sheets.
The person may have died on that mattress, though.
Well, I'm renting it out. What do you want me to do? I sleep in a hotel room like every other night of my life.
That's
no
true.
difference.
Yeah.
Somebody could have died in there too.
Yeah, I assume they did.
But you know for a fucking fact
hotels
somebody
are intense.
died.
Well, I don't think they died in the house.
Yeah.
I don't think
Were they
died in the
murdered or
house.
they died of natural
No,
causes?
just died of like old age. So in the house, I definitely felt like a weird
Presence?
creepiness.
Yeah.
So much so that I almost was not able to masturbate later that night in bed for fear that
To Eva Green.
for fear that this sounds like I'm joking, but I'm not. Like to fear that they were like watching or would be angry with me.
Why
You know,
would
the
they
really
care?
awful thing about this is not the first time I've been asked this question.
Right.
Today.
As someone asked me that before.
Right. But there was a part of me that felt very odd.
Yeah.
You know, doing the deed because I was like, well, this is someone else's bed, and so. But I had to really be like, hey, this is my house now.
Why don't you just go out in the car?
If I want to, but it's my house. If I want to go balls out in my own house,
But you couldn't do it, so.
Oh no! I said I almost wasn't able to do it. I did it. I was
A
able.
lady or a guy who died?
I don't know. I don't even know for sure that they died. I believe as a woman, but the way the house is decorated, it had to be a woman. Mm-hmm. Like fake plants everywhere. It was crazy.
What you want to do is you want to clear it out. You go
how
and
do you
buy.
do that?
Well, we sell a product, but you can get a lot of places. Down in Florida, they'll have a lot probably if you're close to one house.
Or wouldn't it be better to rent it as a haunted house?
Yeah, people love that.
People do love that. I would get some sage like
You would be liable though if they became possessed though.
Oh, that's on me. That's not covered.
Yeah,
by-
because you sold it as a haunted house.
I think there are laws about that. If you knew something was there and you don't
Really?
say it,
Yeah.
certain
Well, I
states
think
allow
if you
that.
know there's a murder, not that like someone passed away. Like it was,
But if he says if he was to be like, hey, you know what the biggest sell point of this house is?
I jerked off in it.
And there are ghosts. And there's ghosts.
And
And then,
ghost is pissed.
then he's opened up himself to
Or
liable.
horny.
to be liable if there's any otherworldly stuff goes on that is detrimental to that person.
Snow globe collection.
Some like ramifications.
That's
When Kevin and I were much wow, it's a lot of snow globes. When Kevin and I were much younger, like
Okay, cool.
early 20s, we worked for these guys who did estate sales, and like the family would come in and they would take stuff out that they wanted, and then the rest of the shit they would be like, just toss it in this dumpster so that they could clear out the house and get it ready to sell. And it's fucked up. Like, I gotta say, I didn't feel any presence or anything, but it's fucked up to like, I remember she had like this collection of like these little teacups, I guess, that she got from wherever she traveled to.
Right.
And we're just throwing them in the dumpster. You hear them smashing, like, like collections, pictures.
Everybody though, everybody's
pictures.
stuff ends up there though. She's not like you don't. Your stuff's going to end up in the dumpster too. Mine.
Oh,
Q's.
I'll probably end up in a dumpster. What are you talking about? Like, of course, my stuff I'll be with it. And at one point, Kevin came out. He goes, "Dude, you're never gonna guess what I found." And he had like this white towel. It was probably the most fucked up thing he's ever done. He has this white towel, and he like pulls back one side, and he had taken a shit in the towel and pretended like it was a ghost or something. It was bizarre. I was like, "What the fuck, man? What's wrong with you?"
So what would bother a ghost more, turds or masturbation?
Yeah.
That is a good question. There are certain branches of magical practice that believe in something called sex magic, which is usually it involves
Succubuses?
not releasing. Then that actually creates a positive energy, but still doing
What?
that, probably that would do a little bit of a better clearing than defecation.
Okay, so you think with this house that I purchased,
Yeah.
I got to clear it out.
Yeah.
How do I do that?
I would get like sage, which is like desert sage, like a white sage, and burn it in every room. Like, it's good for clearing
I've
smoke
seen
out.
that. I've seen that happen on,
why is
on
that
shows.
You know what? It's an old Native American thing for clearing negative energy, and it just works. It's something they stumbled upon, and it really works for clearing. We do it all the time. People
should
think
have burning sage
It
stuck to me at
smells.
all times.
People think it smells like marijuana. It doesn't, but it has a strong kind of smell.
Yeah.
Like that. I put like a little circle of white sea salt around the place. That's good for keeping
The whole house?
Yeah, on the outside. That's an old Santeria thing. Yeah, that's a good thing
Okay.
for clearing. Like put a circle of that,
How long is I got to stay there?
and just until it naturally passes away.
But isn't it like or let's say that woman is in the house, isn't it like insult to injury to be like, hey, I bought you shit, now I'm jerking off in your bed, now also I'm burning some sage to get you out of this house? Doesn't that seem a little, like, mean?
I think she has to understand.
She hasn't done anything to you yet, though. I don't understand why you can't cohabitate together.
Have you seen or felt?
I mean, it definitely. I mean, I don't know if it just felt weird being in someone else's house and like then claiming it on my own.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
When I bought my second house, I felt uncomfortable having sex in there the first time because of the people had just moved,
right?
And I still felt like it was like their house.
Maybe it's just that.
Maybe it's just that. But I mean, I wouldn't worry about that.
Don't worry about it.
No, I mean maybe she likes watching.
Right. Okay. So don't worry about it.
Yes. Don't worry about it. Do not worry about masturbating.
Throughout your history, what would you consider your most terrifying contact?
Terrifying.
Is there one that you would classify as terrifying?
And do you mind if Declan puts thunderclaps underneath it?
No, that's fine.
Okay, great. Declan.
And screams.
There's a couple of customers I've had some bad energy from. Like you get like just these people. Come dealing with the public. Sometimes you get this like that, and it's more than just a.
So it's an actual person gave you the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah,
but you've never had something from the outside that's from another realm come in.
There's been something that was surprising. I'm not sure if I call it terrifying. I don't get terrified by things like that. But when we were over at West Front Street, that place, like I said, was just crawling with spirits. There was a night when my partner was doing some arranging in the window, and we had this string of Christmas lights that were up, and they were blazing. I mean, like, glowing 10 times stronger than they should be. And I said to him, did you put, like, where did you get those lights? He's like, they were just regular Christmas lights. I was like, oh. I said, well, they're really... And I looked down, and this is the guys on the street, they were not plugged in.
Whoa.
And I was like, these aren't plugged in. And when I said that, they...
Could they have been running on batteries?
No, there's no possible way. There was only one power thing. There was no way. And they flickered, and he and I both heard this like this voices, and then they went out. And
Did they say anything?
It was that was probably the most obvious kind of thing where I was like, shit.
Right.
I mean, I read with the Aleister Crowley Tarot deck, which is a very infamous deck for doing psychic readings with. And this is going back to when we first opened the store. And this is before there was like any type of computers or, like in the way that we have it now. And I went out, back then we were just the front, we did not have a rear entrance. It was like kind of sealed off. And I went out front to have a cigarette, so nobody came in or left. And when I came back in, there was a pile of papers this high sitting on the counter. And it was a letter of correspondence between Aleister Crowley and Lady Frida Harris, the woman who had actually painted the deck. Somebody had written this up. It was like over 100 pages long. I've never found the source material for that. And I came and I just found it. I was like, okay. So the time I was living over in Navesink, and cigarettes seemed to be involved with all of this, I went out back to have a cigarette with somebody, and I had a big pile, and I came back, and they were gone. They had just disappeared from the house. And we've seen and had experiences like this where it's like, but none of them were terrifying. They were just like, what's going on?
Weird.
Where I think some people would probably be terrified by those things.
When you say partner, do you mean like partner?
Like,
you guys are
gay, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does that affect anything?
In how?
Is that an in tune thing? Do ghosts like hey, knock that off? There's a lot of these Puritan ghosts.
What kind of ghosts you got?
Well,
exactly.
Well, you're thinking like we're talking Puritan ghosts and stuff like that, like standing around being like, "Hey, man, this shit wasn't cool back in our day."
I don't think there's any ghosts in New Jersey that are going to have a problem with any of those things, especially Red Bank. There's been a real history.
Some living people though probably.
Yeah, it's a blue state.
It's a blue state.
Jersey ghosts are cool with gay. They don't care.
Well,
even back then, though. Even back when Paul Revere was riding around, it was.
Listen, my mother's family settled this county in the 1670s. There's a long history of gay people elsewhere, so they've been here for a long time. So there's got to be ghosts floating around there.
Yeah,
there's a shitload of gay ghosts flying all over the place. Cool.
Yeah.
Who cares?
They don't go to Staten Island much, gay ghosts.
No.
That could have been
Either do black ghosts.
That would have been minority ghosts are not allowed on Staten Island.
Go ahead.
No. I'm building the.
Yeah, you're doing it. I love it.
Yeah, I'm doing like a straight up interview.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm good.
You are.
You got your blazer on?
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
I mean, I didn't realize. I mean, you picked up on that partner thing. I didn't even hear that.
Well, I'm keyed in.
You are. Yeah.
He's from Staten Island.
Yeah.
He's got his gaydar set to high, man.
Staten Island isn't really comfortable with gay people, are they?
It is now, but I grew up in the like 80s and 90s where Staten Island wasn't comfortable with anything. But now it's a vastly different island.
Yeah.
I would say even Jersey, like in the town that we grew up in, I don't think we had a black person until 1979 move in, which is kind of late for a town of like 5,000 people.
Yeah, that's pretty late.
And I do remember in high school, like there were people you suspected of being gay, and maybe they got teased for being like effeminate, but nobody ever was like got beaten up or anything. Because
not like that happened on Staten Island. I think with Staten Island, it's like Staten Island was because it was very homogenized for many years.
Yeah.
It was all Italian, so it was like. And then so that was it. It was just white Italian Irish people. So that's a very tight group that doesn't really love outsiders all that much. And the Wu-Tang Cam, and you can't tout like your biggest social contribution as being like a group of black kids and still be like a screaming racist. So you sort of turn. But I don't ever remember like even like, and I went to an all boys Catholic high school and stuff like that, and like there was never really a low tolerance for homosexuality or anything like that. It was always racism on Staten Island, I thought.
So, back to the occult.
Oh, you want to talk about Staten Island some more?
the politics of ghosts.
What is your? You said you have Aleister Crowley cards.
Yes, the Aleister Crowley Tower deck. Yeah.
And what do you do? What is that? What do you do with the cards?
Well, what I will do is somebody will come in for a reading, and they will, have a series of questions, and I'll pull cards. And what comes up the cards are sort of like a bridge or a gateway to opening up psychic abilities and talents. It's the same. It's divination. It's the same thing as gazing into a crystal ball.
Are those real?
Leaf reading?
You crystal balls? That's a real thing?
Sure. It's called divination. It's scrying. You're looking into something and you're getting something out of it. Like when you're a kid, you look up at clouds and you see things. It's the same type of thing. The cards are kind of designed to get images into your head about things, and it opens.
But clouds are always changing, though. The cards always stay the same. So how are you able to see something?
Well, a lot of the cards have like some very intricate imagery, and there's always things that will be jumping out to you. And there's a core meaning of what each card is. But yet, that's like the beginning, and you kind of extrapolate on that, and it opens up other things, like other ideas kind of come in. It's kind of a hard thing to describe, but it's a process.
Now, I initially, I spent $20 on this too, so I was hoping that we had the Ouija board. Is there any chance? Like, I know that Mark said that you're not into the Ouija board, but
what's going on?
Let me explain to you what a Ouija board is.
Okay, that's what people are tuning in for.
I'm a professional. I know the cards. These are my cards. I have a really close kind of relationship with them. A Ouija board, you are leaving yourself open to any spirit that's in the area. Imagine yourself going into a bar, and there's
I don't drink
like 50 or 60 women.
Oh, cute.
Okay, all right. Seriously,
Are you talking about like or 50, 60 dudes?
No.
Trying to be inclusive.
I'm happily involved.
Okay, all right.
So,
is your partner also attuned to these things?
Yeah, but not in so much the same way. Not in so much the same way.
You're better than him, is what you say?
Yes, I'm better. I'm better than him, and he's going to listen to this. And that's
better at finding ghosts and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when we're doing readings, we're trying to work with, if we pick up on the spirit energy around somebody, we'll work with very specific things. A Ouija board is you've walked into a singles bar, you're going home with the first girl you find. You don't know what it is.
And you know what she looks like.
Maybe. And then
right.
And
maybe.
Is she going to go? And she's going to be there the next morning. That's the Ouija board. You invite shit in that you don't know what it is, and you can't get rid of it. Most of the time when we need to come into a house clearing, somebody was playing around with the Ouija board. They let themselves open, something came through, and something very dark showed up.
Yeah. Well, I have a question.
Sure.
Your haunted shop in what, Front Street?
Yeah, they sell hookahs and bongs now. Yeah.
Okay, but how come you didn't clear that shop and get them out? Like,
it wasn't bothersome. The thing was terrorizing.
Right.
I mean, I used to have a real drinking problem back there. Was a lot of nights I would kind of pass out in the back room, and I never had a problem with it. Other people did,
right?
But we never felt a reason to get rid of it. Nothing was like threatening. Nothing was like scaring us.
So just for them, for the spirit, you're not of the belief then that it's trapped or anything like that.
You'll get a feeling. Sometimes you'll walk into, and any of you walk into a space, you get a negative feeling with something, and you've never been there before. There's something there. There's an energy. If you get a negative feeling, then you want to try to get rid of it and move it along. But if not, leave it be. It's the same thing like,
Right. Okay. All right.
So you believe in that this is this thing I bought at Toys R Us.
Yes.
Hasbro.
Yes.
That Hasbro, that it has the ability that if me and Q and Bri were to play,
I'm not touching that thing.
You won't touch it.
No,
I know
I'm
you
not
won't touch it. But if we were to, hey, could you watch us play it and tell us what we're doing wrong or what we're doing right?
Sure, absolutely. Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, sure.
Well, do you want to do a reading first of one of these guys?
Sure.
And then we'll do the Ouija?
Absolutely, yeah, sure.
That's great.
Now they have to have certain questions to ask you?
No, I mean, it's you wanted to see what kind of comes up. That's always, unless there is a question that you want to focus on.
This is cool. And what is this normally like? If I walk in the shop, what does this go for?
60 for a half hour, 100 for an hour.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
What was the lady's name, Madam? What was her on the Asbury?
Oh, Madame Marie.
Yeah. Did you buy into her skills or?
I'm trying to figure out what
you met a daughter, right?
I'm trying to figure out what the appropriate thing is. But
you met a daughter at college.
Bruce Springsteen that wrote a song about her.
Yeah, I know he did. I had a friend of mine.
I love it. There's the story I want to hear.
No more needs to be said.
Let's just say a friend of mine went to her on his 21st birthday. This is 1984, and she told him he lived to be 86, and he died the next day. That's not a joke.
That's off.
He fell off a skateboard and died. Yeah.
What do you think about John Edwards?
I think John Edwards is good.
Yeah.
In fact, I know people who have gone to see him, and they said there's more. Like, he goes on at length when there's nobody around. I know people like with the cold reading thing, but he really does pick up on a lot more than what.
Why don't they show that then?
That's a good question.
Instead of letting him take the hit of being a fraud.
People are always going to have that going on.
All right. So you mind if I try this?
Oh, I would love it.
Yeah.
You sound.
Right.
You're
what sign are you?
Pisces.
You're going to invite a spirit into the stash, though.
On your face?
Well,
just didn't seem like
Chris.
Pisces. Yeah.
Wait.
I'm sorry. I just want to ask a question, though. I just want to get clarification because Brian did bring up a good point.
Yes.
What if I invite a spirit into the stash? I can ask you to come back, though, in case if we do happen to invite a spirit, you would come back with some of the salt and the
yes. Yeah.
And the marijuana candle.
Yes, the marijuana candle.
Okay.
Yes, and I'll bring a priest too.
Okay.
Why that look on the face when I said as a Pisces?
I don't know.
No reason.
No,
Is that
no
the
reason.
fish?
Yeah. But what about me doesn't say what's? Please explain that. I'm just curious.
Well, Pisces people are usually very sensitive and emotional.
Yeah, that's him.
Boy.
That's him.
That's me.
Okay,
That's him.
Okay.
I believe.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay.
All right.
So what I want.
So what Chris is doing is shuffling his well-worn deck of tarot cards.
Actually, when this deck came about I got it in a very surprising sort of magical way. So I've had this one for 25 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could you use any cards, or are those cards like those cards feel right in your hands?
These are my cards. There certainly are a few other decks I will use from time to time. I mean, you can get a reading off a playing deck. In fact, that's the tarot cards really based on the original playing deck. Yeah, so they're the suits all kind of go
so
back to that.
the Chasing Amy playing deck, we could swap that in right now. Product placement and they would work just as well.
Yeah, I think you should now tout them as the official tarot cards of the Secret Stash.
I want you to pull three. I want you to pull 3 cards from anywhere.
3 cards from anywhere?
Yeah, from anywhere. Just leave yourself up and pull 3 cards. Just set them face down when you pull them.
Okay, so I can just go.
Are you nervous right now, Kim?
Yeah, he's scared. You can tell.
I could tell he's
go there?
To weep. He's so sensitive.
No, whatever you're drawn to. Whatever you're drawn to.
Yeah, I'm drawn to this bad boy right here.
Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And then, do I think about this or just go for
just
it?
let it.
Yeah,
Don't
you're overthinking it.
No, I got it. We're good. All right, what do we got?
Okay, well, you're talking about financial problems, but there's financial. These 2 cards are money.
Okay. Oh, well, all right.
The nine.
Is that last one attacks?
Because he's talking out of his ass. Because he's so fucking rolling in money.
Yeah, I know. He's the biggest bullshitter you'll ever meet.
Yeah.
That's not
He's
true.
rich.
I said I'm
He's
cash poor.
going on
I'm not
tour.
rich.
He's going on tours. He's going on cruises. He can give away cabins.
No. Well, he just said you're talking about money problems, but this you guys cut him off. So he was about to say, but this indicates that that's not an issue.
That's financial growth. Yeah, no, this is.
He's rolling in dough, right?
I'm not. I'm cash poor. All right.
I followed a
Well, I'm talking.
$100 bills that had dropped out of his asshole on the way here.
There's also there's an offer coming to you through a woman, and there's going to be some new money, something new opening up for you. That's soon. That's in the next month and a half. The 9 of Discs is financial growth and prosperity.
Are you a pimp on the side?
I wish.
No, it's some sort of business.
Women bringing you money?
You know what? It can be like a manager or somebody who you work with who's going to be like, oh, here's this thing, but it's through a woman.
things
Energy.
are going well
It's going to
right
be
now.
going well. There's nothing negative here showing up in the future.
When you see, if you do pull some negative info,
Yeah.
are you beholden to tell it, or do you like to? Or are you like, you know what? I don't want to bring this guy down or gal
The
down.
beauty of the cards is you could tell from the cards negative ones.
I guess I won't be getting a reading.
Okay.
So you
what
will tell
happens
them
now?
if it's horrific.
You word it carefully. You know, nothing. The way I tend to look at it and the way I learn this is nothing is set in stone. There's a way things are likely to go to if you continue on the path you are right now. If you make changes in that path, if I say, look, if you were to say to me, I'm planning to go to Las Vegas in a month, how's that going to work out? And I pull these terrible cards, I'll say, well, let's try 2 months to see how that works out. Try moving things around. Nothing is inevitable. But there have been a few readings where things have been inevitable.
Shitstorm.
Every direction you go, and you just tell them, look,
You're fucked.
that or reverse too. There are other times where it's like they're just so surrounded by positive energy
My
that no
official
matter
reading.
It's on your birth certificate.
You got the shitstorm card.
No, there was one of those teenage movies back in the 80s. Was it Better Off Dead or one of them where he goes to the psychic and she goes and they get a camera and take a picture of the reading because it's so horrific. She's calling in all of her friends.
I don't remember that.
It happened.
Okay, so now you've pulled 3 more cards out.
Yeah. The 5 of Wands is a stressful energy. There's a tense energy around you. There's people fighting, arguing.
Oh, that's constant.
Well, that's where we're at.
Is that the
This
Jokers?
is the metropolitan area.
Yeah.
That's the Jokers are arguing.
Usually,
It doesn't go anywhere. It's just people just add
it's
it.
like family.
It's a bunch of egos fighting. I always call this
my
card
God.
Thanksgiving because it's like everybody's together under one roof and they're having
Everybody
to get
thinks
along.
they're hot shit on the Jokers.
Or tell them, Steve. Dave.
This is a female energy. This is a young woman. This is Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, and this is a very happy energy. And there's the Wheel of Fortune.
Well-
Good luck's on your side.
So the young woman, what does that mean?
Well, this is somebody else. These 2 cards are over here. This is a financial energy through someone who's like an earth energy.
Okay.
This is more tied into this. And this is, again, another love energy. It's tied into what you're
Love and money, man.
So
I knew it.
I had
I
a lot of love coming my way. Is what you say?
In astrology terms, Pisces is going through a period for the next year because Jupiter's moved into Virgo. It's opposite your sun sign. What that means is relationship time.
Does jerking off on a deceased woman's mattress count as romance?
You know, I'm not really sure which one of these cards would symbolize that, but no, this is actually a corporeal person. Yeah.
And then this card. I'm sorry. What was that?
Wheel of Fortune. That's like that's one of the most positive cards in the deck. That's
Get
a lot
outta
of
here.
energy there. Yeah, Wheel of
Boys.
Fortune.
Is that
Things
why?
turning in your direction.
Is that why they named the show that?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Oh wow.
Wheel of Fortune. Yeah.
So how far do you build this out? Like, can we keep going?
Well, sure. This looks like. I mean, the money energy is like the next 9 weeks, so it's like 2 months. 2 months.
How long is that tour?
Well, it's like 3 weeks.
And then the cruise after that.
So there's all good things coming out of that.
Fucking
3 more
hustler.
cards come up.
The Four of Swords is a card of everything being sort of a stable, probably around the holidays, like everything kind of in a place, like maybe right after Christmas, everything not really happening for about a month. Everything's you like take a break from what you're doing. Or,
I never get a break, but I do like the idea of getting a break. Do we just keep going until we find some bad news?
Can we find something?
I know. I want something.
I want you to
Yeah,
something to knock
let's
his
just
ass
keep
down.
going.
It's ridiculous. The rich
I'm
get richer.
probably going to get 12 death
then-
cards in a row.
So I pick more cards.
pick 3 more. Yeah.
Okay, well, are you just doing it till we find something better, or is this typically how you do it?
Yeah, like how many cards would you normally
Like,
pull
yeah,
out?
like what
Is he
would we
done
normally
right
do?
now? Would he be
You know
done?
what? I had a lady come into me many years ago, and she was out of her mind, and she
Well, that's redundant.
was desperate for
why
an
you have bad
answer.
cards.
So I kept pulling cards in this manner, and it kept saying no, no, no on this relationship with a married man that wasn't working out. So finally she took the deck from me, started pulling cards, and about halfway through, she pulled this one, she pulled this one, she went, see? So it'll end when you want it to end.
That's what she wanted to hear.
That's what she wanted to hear.
But if I
pull
paid you for a half hour, we just keep going, right?
For a half hour,
Okay.
yeah.
So we pulled 3 more. Okay, I'm gonna get this guy underneath there, and we'll go for that guy, and then that guy. Oh, there he is. That one's mine. Okay.
Okay.
All money cards, no doubt.
Well,
Puss and money cards. That's all it is for this guy. He's just swimming in it.
It's fucking autobiography. Puss and money.
there's some new project you're working on next month. There's something new you're putting all your energy and focus into.
Yeah.
And that's where you got to focus all your energy on. That's like where it's going next.
Really?
Yeah.
And that's gonna be good.
Yeah. Is there a woman involved with this somehow? Because there's a female energy. There's a Leo, Sagittarius Leo, outgoing female energy.
Are any of your representatives female?
Yeah.
Or do you have all
If
like
one
managers?
comes along,
yeah.
if one comes along,
All right.
that's really where all the
Team.
it seems to be the bridge here with all these money energies is a woman.
Okay.
And this is somebody giving you some very practical advice right now. Is everybody pushing you like in a direction?
Impractical advice.
Sorry.
Well, I mean, I am in constant contact with Scott Mosier about life choices, so maybe that's that. I just had dinner with him Monday night.
He gives nothing but good and practical advice.
The best advice.
Sage-like.
So these all look if you want to look for bad cards, we can keep pulling. But these are all very positive.
Okay.
I would stick.
You got to trust that.
So you feel like already at this point in the reading, you're like, I already know this is going. We could just stop now.
You get a feeling with people sometimes too. Sometimes I'll read people like I'll meet them, and something's just like, oh shit.
Really?
And you sit down, and you know it's going to be horrible.
What was your initial thoughts when you saw him? Q.
He's going in blackface for Halloween. I could just tell by the looks of him.
Zaxxon screams blackface.
I don't know. I didn't really think about it. I did not know what Impractical Jokers were. There's a girl works for me. I'm ancient. I'm old. I don't need this shit. And there's a girl working for me.
How old are you?
50. And
She looks good.
Yeah, we're 2 years younger than you.
there's a girl working for me, and when she found out that you were going to be, she was like, "Oh my god!" And I'm like, so I went home and immediately looked up. I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Could that be her in the card? Possibly?
No.
Oh,
She has a boyfriend. He is Pisces though. She has a Pisces
all right.
boyfriend. But
Okay, so we got a feeling that we know what's
something
going
That
on.
positive.
boyfriend
yeah.
don't mean anything to Q.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And if she meets him, it won't mean anything to her either.
Don't be so short. Don't be so short. Don't be so short.
All right, so could we try Brian, I guess?
Sure, absolutely. Yeah.
Wow, well,
Yeah,
thank
this
you
is
for that.
the
I
one we
appreciate
Sure,
it.
no problem.
What's that?
This is the one we really want to see. We already knew fucking it was going to be nothing but
Yeah, we kind of knew
Cash
it.
and
it
cash.
you know,
Well, I
it
got
was-
very sick. I got very ill a few months back, like
Yeah.
very badly ill. So I was wondering if that was if that was in there, but I guess since I passed it.
No, you're fine. Whatever it is, you're fine.
he was legally brain dead for 4 days.
That's something. No, that's something I'm good with picking up. I didn't pick it up with you at all.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so
You can pick up if you have a disease or ill.
I
Cards are going to start flying around the room. What he does to me.
I have a tendency to be able to pick up when somebody's like sick in the moment. Yeah, and I don't know
And
whether.
what about if it's not a physical sickness? Not that Q's wasn't.
Mental illness?
Yeah. Sorry, Q. I didn't mean it that way.
Because we all know it is.
Well, if it's not a physical illness, then what?
All right.
Yeah, no, I can pick up on physical stuff a lot of times.
Yeah, like say you started like reading the cards and like Q had like a dark hidden secret, like he had like buried like a toddler's corpse in his crawl space. Like, would you be able to tell something like that?
Not always.
No.
If someone's a psychopath, it's very hard to pick it up with the cards.
Yeah.
Because that's a psychopathic behavior. But most Okay, now what sign are you?
Sagittarius.
Okay.
What does that mean generally?
Sagittarian people are outgoing, straightforward. They have a problem with what we call foot and mouth disease. They say when they shouldn't. But why I appreciate Sagittarius is I appreciate honesty, even if I don't agree with it. Sag will tell you straight out. And that can get them in trouble a lot of times, but it's a very honest, straightforward sign. A little cynical, a little sarcastic.
A little.
Optimistic. I find a lot of people who are Sagittarius do look at the glass as being half full. But right now, Saturn, which is a planet of restrictions and limits, just moved into Sagittarius. It'll be there for 2 years. So Sag people are going through what we call like a consolidation period, focusing on specific things, not looking at the big picture. But you don't seem like one of those types of Sagittarius people who's like over the top. A lot of Sag people are like overly enthusiastic all the time.
No.
Yeah, it's not me.
So they're probably not going to affect you.
You sure you had the right birth date?
Yeah, wait, when was I born?
December 7th,
Yeah,
right?
I can only...
Oh, that's right in the middle. Okay. So let me just shuffle these up just a little bit.
Pearl
Optimistic
Harbor, right?
isn't something I've been called many times.
No.
There's all different kinds of optimism, and I think that people who are walking around happy and skipping all the time doesn't always mean optimistic. I
They're
think
probably
it's
just stupid.
Big fucking phonies.
phonies. That's it. But yes. I want you to pull 3 cards.
All right, let's see.
This is the what everybody wants to see.
This one...
And Chris, to you, there's a reason he picked those cards, right?
Yep. Everything sort of happens for a reason. I think that there are times where people aren't really focusing very well, or there's something they're not meant to know something, or sometimes we don't pick the cards we're supposed to. But,
Right. Well,
I really didn't take all the bad cards out. I didn't.
Somehow I got 3 bad cards.
Well, no, these are positive cards.
Ooh.
The 3 of Wands, the energy of this card is everyone working well together brings about positive results. It's opportunity, but it's you working with other people. I'm sure that's already going on. But this is an energy of working well with others. You're going to be challenged over the next couple months with various ego energies around you and having to just kind of not react to it and just move through it and not think about it or worry about it.
3 of Wands. 3 hosts of Tell 'em Steve Dave.
The 3-headed demons.
Yeah. All right.
3 people.
There you go.
There's some practical advice.
Ooh.
Impractical advice.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Come on now.
Okay, now you're doing a different formation with his cards than you did with
Trying to
mine.
find a good
Yes.
card.
Why? What makes you do that?
This is a little bit more of a Kabbalistic tree lineup, which is I'm just doing is just a little bit of a different thing here. I don't know. I just feel kind of inspired to do that.
Got it.
It feels with this energy down here, the Ace of Discs is a year of sort of moving into. It's almost similar to where you've been. There's you're working towards something, you're putting a lot of energy into something, but there's not this huge breakthrough until sort of next year at this time. There's a continuation of energies, but it just feels like you're unsure about something. With you, I picked up there's something very clear that you're focusing on. This is like there's options that are in front of you, but the advice of the cards is to keep doing what you've been doing and keep focusing on it, putting energy. It's bringing you someplace else. I know it sounds a little vague, but is there something you have a gut feeling about right now that you feel very drawn to, or that you feel sort of like pulling you in a new direction?
In what way?
Like an idea. The Prince of Cups always shows up as like something that we're kind of drawn to, and like we have a new inspiration, a new idea. There's something new that we're being pulled to. It doesn't mean you're letting everything go. It means it's like we're kind of moving off a new direction, focusing on something new.
Yeah.
It feels to me like there's going to be a point. It's like the next several years are going to be about making yourself happy. In a way you haven't been before. There's like opportunities opening up, but there's like needs being fulfilled. There's like a lot of personal things going on that are happy for you, that are going to be very pleasant for you. But you're letting something go, but you're working towards something. But there's a new idea coming up in you, and it's going to be successful. But you have to put time and energy into it. It's like next year at this time.
All right, so laying on the couch and watching Sopranos over and over isn't going to do it.
As long as you're putting in time every day, yeah, that actually isn't a bad idea. But as long as
Really?
you're putting energy and effort into
So
it.
you won't.
Status quo.
Wow.
I do actually work on it every day a little bit.
It's
So.
good. I'm happy about this, dude.
No love cards for
The
me.
cards aren't bleeding. Well, you've been in a stable relationship for like 15 years now.
Yeah.
How many cards do you need to tell you?
Well, you're half right.
Did the card say it was stable?
There's nothing here saying anything negative about a relationship energy. Do you have a daughter?
I have a
Yeah,
niece that
but
is
it's-
like my daughter.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she lives with me.
Is there something that you're thinking about? Is she very young?
She's 9.
Oh, okay. Because it feels like there's something. Someday she's going to be involved, like something professionally with what you're doing. Because I see you having a career and all this for a very long time, and she's going to be part of some of that someday. It's like she's in your life for a very special reason. She's showing up here. This isn't a wife. This is a child energy. It's there with you, and it's like it's like a special energy that's there with you.
All right.
Yeah, well, you're like a very positive energy for it. But no, you're in the right direction, doing the right thing. It's just don't expect a lot of exciting things going on around you for a little while. Does that make any sense?
That makes total sense.
Well, the old Chinese proverb of "May you live in exciting times." That's when bad things.
It's interesting he should say that because we're coming up with something together, she and I.
Yeah?
Yeah, we've been working on something.
Wow, look at that, dude.
It's crazy.
Fighting Frog and the Purple Pollywog, yeah.
What's
An
that?
animated series that we work on together.
Really?
Yeah, we talk about it. We come up with ideas and little drawings and stuff.
Well, I mean, the cards have illuminated it.
Yes.
Is he done?
I think so. Yeah.
Can I go?
So. Yeah, sure, absolutely.
You got to pick 3 cards, Walt.
I know. I think I can do that.
Hold on, let me just.
Are you sure?
Attention.
Now, what sign are you?
I'm one of those guys that I look at
What day's your birthday?
23rd of October.
Well, you're
Scorpio sometimes, and
Yeah, I don't know, because you seem a little more Libra. I would think, but Scorpio people,
just by the way, what makes you say that?
Scorpio people have a little bit more of a, especially at the very beginning of the sign, tend to be a little bit more hidden, guarded. Not usually in a very public situation very often, but there's some. Yeah.
Then that's the irony. I am all those things. I feel like I'm forced to be public.
Do you get?
Why do you feel that way? You are forced. That's 2 ways about it.
Do you feel like you spend a lot of time making your mind up about things? Libra, it's not that they're indecisive. It's just it takes them a long time to make up their mind about things.
I don't know. I don't think so, because I think that I know what the right decision is. I feel all the time.
All right.
But I will think about it and overthink it to death. I overthink everything to the point where it becomes a problem at times.
Do you hold on to a grudge for a very long period of time?
He's still not forgiving Ming for putting cameras in the store.
I will hold grudges, but I can't hold them for very long, because I do realize that it's almost pointless.
It's probably on the Libra side of thing, because Scorpio
Sagittarius ain't going to change.
Scorpio holds on to things. They play for keeps. They hold on to things for a really long time. Okay. Here's
Okay, I'll just pick, and then I'll sit back down.
Yeah, here you go. Pick. Why don't you pick 3 cards?
Okay. I'm going to go right next to that one.
Feeling it, Walt? Like you're
I just kind of went in there like, willy-nilly.
All right. Ooh, uh-oh.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
See, you can tell from the cards.
Yeah, I don't like the looks of that.
Now, you know what? The Tower card is a little bit of a crisis. Something's going to change. The Emperor card is you in a leadership position.
I wish.
Well, no, I mean...
Did you listen before? He's got no juice.
He's got no juice, didn't you hear?
Do you run things around here? Honestly.
I would say yes.
That's more the Emperor card, and that's the strength of where you're at.
He's the driving force behind the podcast.
Motherfucker, you better get the Mike and Mark to start calling you Emperor.
That's the Emperor. The Emperor card is its leader, and the Ace of Wands is a new beginning, and you start with the Tower card. There's some sort of crisis in the next month or so. It's not, it feels like it's in the next couple of weeks. It doesn't. The crisis, it's not huge. It's not like a plane crash or somebody dying. It's not awful. It's just that there's something that you're expecting to work a certain way. Doesn't happen like that.
Are you planning to move? Are you planning to move back into your place?
Yeah, I'm at a house right now because it's being worked on from the storm, and we're supposed to move back by Thanksgiving.
I don't know if it's something. The Tower. You have to look at the other cards. If there's a bunch of terrible cards, it's a big crisis. The rest of these cards
terrible or tarot.
Tarot. Oh. Yeah. The Tower. I'm sorry. That's the card. This is the card that you pull, which is the trouble one. And you look at the Tower card, you can see, it's a structure falling down. And that always shows up when we're not expecting something. But it's not the end of the world. When people fall in love, it's the Tower card. It's our usual energy gets shaken up for a little bit.
Okay.
But it passes. After that, there's moving forward. There's I think it's probably around that you're expecting things to work a certain way. And it's not going to end up being...
They usually never do.
plan for it not to.
You
That's
hear
the
ya?
best way.
Yeah. But plan, hope for the best, plan for the worst. That's my motto.
There does feel like there's going to be a little trouble around some sort of a travel-related thing. There's something that you're planning as travel-related. There might be a problem. And I usually this works out as you're thinking you're going to be able to do a lot more than you can, or there's going to be like some interruptions. Maybe there's going to be like some storms this winter or something where there's going to be travel getting in the way. This
I can
is
only
just,
imagine your car breaking down on the way to or from work.
Yeah, I don't really travel. I don't fly. I'm terrified to fly.
oh, so you are a Scorpio then? Yeah, that's
What does that mean?
Scorpios get really big fears. Over
Yeah, I'm
things.
afraid of heights.
Yeah.
I'm afraid of flying.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that there's a bunch of chicken shit on this card? Is that what that means?
He's a Sagittarius.
All right, so it's not all bad, but
It's
I'm
not,
expecting some rain is going to fall. Now,
Is there someone you're trying to get out of your life right now? Oh, you know, that's probably too personal. But
no.
There's
is there somebody I'm trying to get out of my life?
Is there like a friend right now who's causing
Probably
some
most
troubles and
people.
difficulties? With I understand that.
I would think.
Are Scorpios people persons?
No.
Yeah, I think I'm a Scorpio.
Scorpio's a sex sign, and so they like
Sexy sign?
They like Scorpio is the sex sign. It's a sign of intimacy, but they're not like particularly.
I like
they're not
sex.
He
they're
likes
both-
knocking
yeah.
boots, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But they're not. They're not people. They don't like.
I'm people with my peeps. I keep my peeps close,
Yeah.
and and I like to keep it real with them. But like, I'm not real good with outsiders.
There's your episode.
But like outsiders, it takes me so long to warm up to people.
Oh,
It
listen,
takes me years.
I have a ton of Scorpio in my chart, and I got a job dealing with the public for the past 25 years. And there are days where you're just like,
Yeah.
I hate you.
Yeah,
and you can't
yeah.
say that, but that's a Scorpio thing. That's a Scorpio
Yeah, they
thing.
come in and not doing anything wrong, but I'm just like, I just don't feel like talking to you.
The Tower card, you know.
One customer, many faces.
The Tower card is a little bit of a crisis. Three of Swords is getting rid of somebody out of your life, and this is a male energy. This is like a friend. And it's almost like there's going to be a friend maybe going through a crisis or being overly dependent or needy, and you're just
Oh my God, this is nuts. It's true.
Sunday Jeff?
No, it's not. But like, remember I was telling you, there's chaos all around me. I don't know if I
Yeah.
said that on air. It involves a friend,
Jesus
and I'm
Christ.
afraid. And it's been like I've been so worried about him. It's been harping on me.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's.
Shit, dude.
Oh my God, is this scary yet?
What's most stunning
Well, he
is
just
that
told him-
it's not me.
He just told me I'm going to get money and pussy, so I'm not scared at all. I'm a believer.
Now I'm going to change my blurb on the website. I'm good at being able to figure out money and pussy.
You're like a little picture of you.
Yeah, there you go. That's it. I will do that. I will do that. Oh my God.
Chris was right.
go wrong with Chris.
Just holding like a stack of dollars, like fanned out. Money and pussy. But that card said I was going to get married next year.
No, he didn't.
The Emperor's card isn't always marriage, but it can be a child.
Well, that.
Oh, what, a child?
Is there an abortion card in there? Because flip that one over.
About 10 years ago, there was a business in town, and you would have expected the owner of this business to be a very like chill.
Oh, he probably
hippie-ish
knows.
Zen
He
type
probably
dude.
knows.
And he hung himself in the
Yeah.
back of his store. You know who I'm talking
Sure,
about, right?
yeah.
Now, does that give that store like a bad sort of aura about
I
it?
wouldn't rent that place for $1 million.
Really? Why?
You know what? First of all, this whole situation was so heartbreaking because he was such a kind person, and he would come in and buy things for his daughter, and he would, buy all this Christian iconery. He was very religious. But especially when somebody does themselves in, there's a horrible sadness that follows, and it's just it leaves an imprint. It does. It's like a murder.
Especially if I'm not mistaken, didn't his daughter find him? Like she went in the store, right?
Yeah, it was like a couple days later.
Yeah.
It was absolutely horrible too. I can't pass that place without thinking about it. I knew something was up with him last time I saw him.
You just because I just wish sometimes we had cameras, because if you could see Chris, one, you don't look 50. That's incredible. Do you dye your hair?
No, it's all natural. It's all
That's
natural.
Get the hell out of here!
No,
really?
it's all natural.
I gotta
yeah.
dye it like
got-
3 times a month to keep this sheen.
Yeah.
He's got beautiful, long, flowing hair. It's none of it's gray. He looks. I would have pegged you around 40. To be
Thank
honest
you.
with you.
Thank you.
But also, you have a very kind face. Like, you wear expressions on your face. Very
Yeah,
well.
like when I mentioned that guy, he genuinely
Looked
looked
sad for a
upset.
second.
Yeah.
It was a horrible tragedy,
Right.
But thank you for saying that.
Is that part of why part of your makeup, though? Do you think that's your
Like that's why you're so
permeating that?
attuned.
Yeah.
I think that there is. I think the more sensitive you are, yeah. I think you see a lot more gay men who are readers. I think there's a little bit more
Really?
sensitive.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
I think we're a little bit more in touch with our emotions. Yeah, I think where you see a lot of women readers. I think there is something about being in touch with your emotional side.
Well, that's what I was getting at
Yeah.
before when I asked
Yeah.
that question. Like, is there something to it?
Maybe.
And I guess maybe you thought I was joking at the time, but I wasn't. Like, is there something to
Trying
that?
to get out of flushing the poor guy out.
I outed him.
That's what I meant.
Oh, I don't give a shit. That doesn't faze me at all. That doesn't faze me at all.
Could you just wear the scarlet H on you for the rest of the show? No, but that's what I meant. Like, it was. Is that so? You're saying that is something to it?
Yeah.
What was that?
Well, what was that? That's nothing.
Oh, my
There's-
goodness.
Yeah. I felt corporeal. I didn't feel spiritual. I felt corporeal.
Do we have time for a quick? I mean, I know you won't touch it.
Absolutely.
I promise the
Are you in a
listeners.
rush? Do you have
No,
to get out of here?
no, I'm
Dude,
fine, I'm
this
fine.
is great. I'm having a blast.
The last time I used a Ouija board was Marcy Starcher's house in 8th grade.
So it's been a long time.
Very long time, yeah. And I remember it was we allegedly contacted a sea captain who had died in a boat that like had hit some rocks or something from like 100 years ago.
Is it possible, Chris, that his life has been vexed since that point because of that?
No.
Oh, damn.
You know what? People will
blame that sea
think
captain.
a lot of
trying
times
to be a
people
buddy.
think that people cast spells on them and stuff, and it's a lot of work to really screw up
Now,
something.
and how just for people who are listening who don't know how it works, you just put this device
Yes.
and you push it around.
Oh, it lights up too.
Yeah, it's got
Yeah.
batteries.
But
In
this is what
it.
I'm saying. This is a child's toy right now.
Yes.
It's
But
sold
you're saying
in
it
a
still has
child
power.
Toys R Us. So, but it
It's
shouldn't
not
be. You're
some-
saying
it shouldn't be, but I mean, nobody's gonna listen to me. But
It should not be.
I don't think
Certainly
it's
not
something
Hasbro, who
kids
sells a
play with.
shitload.
so. We don't need any instructions. You will just talk us through it.
You put your fingers very lightly on.
Q, do you want to be the person who touches it? Because I don't want to be.
Well, I got to be honest
Don't you
with
need 2 people generally?
You can do it with 3.
Chris is scaring the hell
All right,
out
let's
of
just do 3 of us then.
All right.
me. All right.
Let's
I
get
said,
close.
What if
We'll go
something
to
goes
hell
wrong?
together.
If something goes wrong, I don't have any
How
materials
vortex
here to do a
opens up.
clearing.
Your
but I
shop's
can-
right down the
I'll
block.
run down the street and come back, or I'll just go to St. James and get the priest.
Okay.
Oh, you would make you would.
You've got to let me take a
but
picture
why
of
would
this.
it?
You
But
gotta let me
why?
take a picture.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
definitely.
But why would would it be a Catholic priest or could it be any priest of any religion?
My friends are totally excited over the fact that I'm here, so I'm getting messages.
Is it because of Q?
Yeah.
Actually, no, I think it's both. It's
Yeah.
both. But yeah, everybody.
Bullshit.
Bullshit.
You wear your expressions on your face, buddy.
We've been here. We've been here. I've never seen you come in here, so I mean, you're
Right.
here.
Well,
I mean, Q is
Been
definitely
lurking
the
across
reason.
the street.
I've been in here a few times. It's not my thing, but I
Right.
I actually as a friend. No, I won't.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So, 3 of us have to touch the. What is this thing called?
The planchette or something?
I don't know what it's called.
Oh, you don't know anything about this, huh?
Oh, I know what it is. I know what it is. I just don't know what that thing's called. But you put your fingers very lightly on it.
2.
The whole idea is you're not supposed to be moving it yourself. It's like spirits guiding you to do it. Something's moving, is inhabiting your body,
Right.
and causing it to move with your fingers.
And what are we asking the board?
Ask a question. Ask something simple because it's going to spell it out.
Is there a contact time that we got to do? Anything we got to do to get into? I mean, are spirits hanging around just waiting for somebody to whip out a Ouija board to talk to people?
Some are. They wouldn't be negative ones.
Pam has one of these. I was at her house last week,
Right.
and she's kind of a fancy one. It's like
That's his mother, Pam.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the Wiccan. And I was doing it with Seiji. And I kept saying, I was like, spirits, does Seiji poop her pants? And just kept going to yes.
Now, the question should be a short answer.
Yes.
Yes or
unless you
no?
want to be. Well, it has a yes or no, but you can spell letters out too. You can ask.
Would you
ask if there's somebody here? Ask if there's.
Can you ask somebody on Twitter for us to ask a question, Brian?
Yeah,
Well,
sure.
we can start with like, is there someone here and stuff like that?
All right.
Now, let me ask you something. Overwhelmingly, probably nothing's going to happen, right?
Well, they say there's like what is it like idiometric movements? That's like it's like subconscious movements.
Yes,
that
you could look at it that way, but there's a lot of people look at that as spirit moving you.
Maybe nothing's happening.
All right. Well,
You all have
we'll
to
touch
do
it. So we're going to ask, is there a spirit here?
Give it a second, but you got to touch it very, very lightly, and just allow it. Ask if the spirit's here.
You want to ask? I'll
We
ask.
got to close our eyes or some shit like that?
You could if you want.
But it doesn't really matter.
Doesn't really matter. Just leave yourself open.
All right.
Are there spirits watching this podcast tonight? Is it moving, Q?
I don't think it's moving.
You got to give it a second.
Yeah.
I thought the batteries would make it move, to be honest with you.
Just like some very lightly touch it. Just let it.
But it's not guaranteed that something's going to happen.
No, but it usually does.
all right. I've asked Twitter.
Okay. I don't think it's going to move for
Like, I
us.
can't believe Mike and Ming went to
Well, I'm
Walker's
going to push
Stalker.
it now. So this isn't the spirit. This is me doing it. I just want to see, right, what it takes
Yeah.
to get it going.
Is it on right now?
What? Yeah, I'm moving it now.
Do you have to believe?
It helps. Leave
Believe
yourself.
in what,
Don't
though?
think about it. Don't think about it. Just leave yourself open, and something will just very lightly. It should move pretty quickly once they've changed them.
I think I got a defective one.
Got to get your money back. You know, I read that they the first mention of them was in China in like 1100 AD or something.
A Ouija board?
Yeah, like talking boards, spirit boards, whatever they called them.
One or two hands.
2. I would put 2 on there. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe it should be all 3 of you.
Want to try this?
Yeah, I'll give it a shot.
All right.
All right, here we go. So what we're asking if there's spirits in the stash, and you got to touch it real lightly, right?
Yeah.
All right.
3 fucking non-believers.
I don't know. If those tarot cards, bro, I'm in.
Yeah, of course. Yours are all good.
Yeah.
Yeah, money, you know.
Mine's like your 9-year-old niece is going to carry your ass career-wise.
Do you know how much I would love that? So nothing's happening.
Damn.
And I thought for sure. Like,
Maybe there are no spirits here.
It's possible, right?
This place doesn't feel particularly.
yeah,
haunted.
but didn't somebody write something on the wall downstairs, like on that cement
There's some
wall?
old graffiti down here.
Well,
Could we go look at that?
We want to have mics to look at.
Oh, we can go down and like report.
It's moving around, Q.
Is it real?
You pushing it?
I'm not pushing it.
Oh,
That's the other thing. You always like whenever you
I
have
swear
two
to God, I'm
people-
not pushing it.
It really is a matter of not thinking and just allowing it to. It's the same with the tarot. The more you don't think, the more it tends to come through the right way.
Okay, so the question is, are there any spirits here in the stash? So we're
how do you
hoping
know
for
when?
a yes or
How
no.
do you know when to look at the board?
Well, when you get to something, isn't there like a yes or no?
There's a
Yes, there's a yes there and a no there.
no here.
See, you were going in that direction.
All right, so let's say it's a yes. Then it's going that direction. We'll take that.
Yeah, close enough.
Yeah, but this. Yeah, but this thing's got to speak up, man.
It doesn't talk.
No, but if it's going yes to like it's moving a centimeter, it's got
I thought it was like a spirit translator.
It could be that there's a spirit here, but it's not terribly interested.
He's like, these guys are dicks.
There's somebody here.
You think the spirit's still upset about Maxwell being on the last episode that refuses to talk to us?
Or maybe the spirit's confused. He thinks this is I Sell Comics.
Let's just, for the sake of argument, so we go on to the next question. Oh, it's moving.
All
There
right.
we go.
What's it on?
Well, it's on a yes.
What's on the yes?
That just moved? Okay, cool.
No, I don't think so. I think.
That move, Q.
That just moved.
Yeah,
on its
but
own?
didn't you just move that?
I don't think I did.
You just said for the.
I don't think I moved that.
Are we going to edit out the bit that you said just for the sake of getting to the next
Let's get to
question?
the next question. What's Twitter want us to ask?
Yeah, but if it's not going to work, then
All right, well, let's ask. Twitter says, where is Elvis? Does Pi have an ending? Why do the Mets want to lose the series? Ask if this dress does this dress make me look fat? How is Bob Marley?
You don't recommend doing this at all.
Yeah, Ouija boards, that's the one thing that always freaked me out a little bit. I can handle everything else.
Did you ever see did you ever see this go wrong, a Ouija board? Why?
Like, most of the time when we have to go do a clearing someplace, somebody's playing around with a Ouija board.
All right, so you get into this house. How does somebody know to call you? Like, what happens to someone that's like, what's the name of your business?
Earth Spirit.
What happens in someone's life who's like, we gotta get Earth Spirit on the phone, we gotta get Chris down here? Like, what generally happens for someone to call you?
Well, you can feel it out. There's a lot of people who are mentally ill who feel that there's stuff happening.
At least two on this table. Right.
Come on, 3.
Who, me? I guarantee I'm the most normal person that you've ever come across in your entire life.
Okay.
That's dismissive. Okay, I'm serious.
People who declare it usually.
No.
I swear. Over and over again.
I have dealt with people who have been abducted by aliens.
Really?
That's
do you believe in aliens?
No. You know what? I do. It's
you just said no.
I do believe in aliens.
No.
I just don't believe that they're going to take this huge adventure across the universe to come here to stick a probe up someone's ass. It just doesn't make sense, So most of the people I deal with who have been abducted seem a little crazy.
Do you believe in aliens, Q?
Well, I think I'm in line with him where I feel positive there's life on other planets.
But yet you don't believe in the afterlife. You're a walking contradiction.
Well, why is that a contradiction?
These two things aren't necessarily connected.
How is that a contradiction in any way, shape, or form? Yeah.
All right, so has anybody ever asked you what happened to Elvis? Have you ever been able to find out?
Never even cared to
JFK,
learn.
right?
I never really cared too much about it. I mean, it's not...
Didn't care about Elvis.
I'm sorry, is that bad?
Yeah, he's a big Elvis fan.
I like Elvis Presley, but I assumed he died.
Right. Just like everybody said he did.
You know.
So, okay, wait. I just want to get back to... Okay, so a woman is like, my daughter played with a Ouija board. Like, what's happening that she's like, I got to call someone?
Oh, people will have a run of bad luck, which is usually just luck. They'll have things happen in the house. A lot of times, and I strongly believe in poltergeists, or in a sense of when people are going through, especially adolescence, there's a lot of psychic energy gets thrown out and it will actually move and destroy things. And I think a lot of men when they're going through adolescence will have these weird breaking things around them and stuff flying around. That kind of stuff, people will have us come in and try to clear out for them. Or we'll send people in if I don't want to deal with it.
And like your first or third question is like, were you fucking around with a Ouija board?
Usually, yeah. I'll say that if they play the Ouija board, yeah. If people want us to sell them, and my mother got them in one time, she ordered this really ornate thing from this company that these people talked her into, and it was this very ornate Ouija board. And I'm like, it's still a Ouija board. I don't want it in the store. But I think that it's like a $300 Ouija board, so I think it wasn't quite as like little girls are going to buy it and get into trouble, as you can with these. But yeah, people will get into trouble with them. I think anytime you're leaving yourself open for a spirit to talk through you, if you don't know what you're doing and if you don't have a proper protection around you, really bad things can come through. And I think there's something about this that just has a.
It's bizarre though that it can happen though. Something that Hasbro has produced though.
Well, I don't want to get in trouble with Hasbro, but it is not my favorite thing for them to be selling in toy stores. But.
Do you know Hasbro? I read also they produced that Ouija movie. The Ouija movie
said it was horrible.
That sucked. It cost $5 million. It made like over $100 million.
Holy shit! Really?
Yeah. No wonder they're. And they also said like it was after The Exorcist that like it reignited the interest in.
Was it? I don't remember the Ouija board in The Exorcist though.
Yeah, the Captain Howdy. Remember she was talking to Captain Howdy.
Yeah. Do you believe in demonic possession?
I think that there's negative spirits in the spirit plane. I think that we have the ability to generate negative energies. I think that there are certainly things out there that are. I think it's more like people produce a negative energy that people can pick up on and it will animate them. But no, I don't actually believe it's.
They can't get in my soul. Right?
Something can work through you.
Not a normal soul like that.
Something can work through you, but when it comes to the point where you got to bring it up, like, when it's literally The Exorcist, I don't know.
No.
I haven't actually had a personal experience with it, so I can't tell you. I mean, certainly I believe that spirits can work through you for this, so it would naturally follow that something could stick around for a while, but it's not something. I mean, I've never done a clearing in that type of way.
Have you ever been to the Halloween parade in Manhattan, in the Village?
That's an entirely different thing, isn't it?
Yes. 'Cause that is when the veil is very thin between, say, a girl's body and the rest of the world, because they all dress up like sexy things.
Yes.
That is why I love Halloween.
You know, I have not been up there in a very long time, and I'm not as big of a Halloween person as a lot of people are around me. But it's a great holiday. I do love it. You know, it's fun. And we don't do anything. We used to do every year. We would do something big at the store, but it got to be too.
Oh,
much.
really?
Yeah, it got to be too much. Too many people coming and too much work for us, so we stopped doing it.
What's the busy season? Is it Halloween or is it more Christmas?
Really, it's summer.
Really, it's summer.
Yeah, summer. Yeah, it's.
Well, so much foot traffic.
Everybody's at the shore. Yeah, it's the
okay.
busiest time. But for workshops and doing these type of rituals, yeah, this time of year. I did a full moon ritual last weekend, and the whole store was filled with people. We celebrate the energies of the full moon. We do like a full Wiccan circle. I like the quarters. We cast a circle. We do some magical work, invocation, meditation, something called a banishing, which is people write down stuff they want out of their life, and I go out and burn it in the cauldron and back. It's right. You can see St. James right there. We're always waiting for them to call the police on us because I got this big cauldron going in the parking lot. But they're cool. They're really actually very cool.
You know what? It's funny. Like I always, when I think about things like this, because like I'm on TV, right? And a lot of people would love to have that job. You guys too. And like people, sometimes there's some days you just don't want to do it. You know what I mean? Like it's a dream job, and you're like, I don't want to fucking be here. Are you ever in the midst of like doing one of these ceremonies, like a moon thing? Like you ever get it and you're like, oh, I don't want to fucking do this today, and you're throwing shit in a cauldron and you're kind of half-assing it a little bit because you don't really want to be there, and like
You're mailing it in?
Yeah, you ever like dial in a ceremony?
Everyone has those days.
Yeah,
well, the ceremony not so much because people are paying for it
Every day,
right.
You know, you want to try to give it your all, but sure, everybody's got those days.
Right.
Where you just are
you're
like,
going to clear a house and you're like, oh, fuck this. You wave some sage around and you're out of there.
You know, I don't really do much house clearings anymore. I don't do anything like that. But yeah, I mean, it gets a little,
But how long has your store been in business?
It'll be 25 years.
That is an insane amount of time in today's climate in business in Red Bank. Do you think that it's for a reason?
Yeah.
It's meant to be, right?
It all fell in our lap. It was a surprising thing the way it kind of happened. It kind of came together.
But the spirits look probably over you to keep you there.
I think so. There's a crazy energy around it. Yeah, it's a crazy survival energy that we've been through. Yeah, but I enjoy doing it.
I can't get this Ouija board to move.
Just hold it very lightly, just like very lightly, and don't even. You know what? Do it while you're talking and see what happens. You might just start moving. So, whoa.
Jesus.
Oh my goodness!
Shit my pants.
Well.
There's a lot of questions. Probably the strangest one is Maxwell wants to know if his stepmother murdered his father with pills.
Maxwell wants to know that?
That's what he asked. Yeah.
Why the Ouija board just came alive.
Yeah. See, that's more of a question for the police.
Is there anything
Ouija board, Maxwell?
People should be, aside from Ouija boards, is there anything? All right, there's like mental health. There's like physical health. Is there anything that people could be doing in their own lives? Listeners of Tell 'em Steve Dave could be doing to make themselves more in tune, or spiritually healthy, or something like that.
Yeah, this is the thing I always tell people first and foremost: don't be an asshole. It's the truth. The
So
more
hard.
negative you put out, the more you draw in, and the more you try to do the right thing. And I don't mean in some moral uppity way. You try to do the best thing morally that you feel right. Positive will come to you, and it will open you up.
Right.
What if your morality is skewed though, and you think what you're doing is right, but really,
I don't know.
like social conventions that are accepted as right, aren't necessarily, they always change.
Sure. But generally, as a society, for the better as we go along, no?
I don't know. There's a lot of PC shit going on that's annoying. I can't dress up like Caitlyn Jenner. What kind of world is this?
Well, you can.
Tell him, Steve Dave.
Out of the gate, never had a lot. This has been a production of Smodco Internet Radio. Sir, only at smodcast.com.